The hills are alive with the sound of V6 turbocharged engines. It's the Austrian Grand Prix at the Red Bull Ring. It's round 11 of the 2022 season. Checker flag on Sunday will take us to halfway in this 2022 season as well. After this, it's France and Hungary to lead us into the summer break before a triple header in the Belgium, Netherlands and Italy to complete the European season. Singapore and Japan are back-to-back for the flyaways before we head over to the Americas with the United States, Mexico back-to-back. A 2-week break before the last two races, Sao Paulo in Brazil and a week later in Abu Dhabi for the season finale. After 10 races, Max Verstappen leads the championship by 34 points to Sergio Perez, 181 to 147. Charles Leclerc still remains in third position, now just ahead of Carlos Sainz after victory he had at the British Grand Prix. George Russell is still ahead of Lewis Hamilton, still 88 points back. Lando Norris is in 7th, Valtteri Bottas, Esteban Ocon and Fernando Alonso round out the top 10. On the second page, it's Pierre Gasly on the same amount of points as Kevin Magnussen. Same amount of points as well for Sebastian Vettel and Daniel Ricciardo, 15 apiece. Yuki Tsunoda has the biggest advantage of the gap behind them as well. Zhou Guanyu on 5. Mick Schumacher finally on the points board as well. He has 4 after a brilliant 8th position at Silverstone. Alexander Albon with 3 points, the same as Lance Stroll. Nicholas Latifi still pointless in this season. He's alongside Nico Hulkenberg in 21st. In the Constructors' Championship, Red Bull lead the way by 63 points to Ferrari. Then Mercedes are 124 points back on 204. Further back on 255 points back is McLaren, who's in a battle with Alpine as well, closely followed by Alfa Romeo. AlphaTauri have let themselves slip in the last few races. They're 7 points clear of Haas. Aston Martin 2 points behind them. Williams Racing still only on 3 points. The hills are alive with the sound of the V6 Symphony Orchestra. Welcome to the Red Bull Ring here in Spielberg, Austria, where we are about to get underway for the 71-lap Austrian Grand Prix. Yesterday we had the sprint, but we've had a whole action across the weekend. Let's take a look back at what happened on Friday in both Practice 1 and qualifying, Saturday with Practice 2 and the sprint, and then we'll be back live for the race itself. So free practice 1 here in Austria took part on Friday morning as well. And with it being a sprint weekend, it was all action straight away. The drivers only got 1 hour before qualifying on Friday afternoon to set their fastest times and get the cars in a position that they felt comfortable before they came in and locked them down in Parc Fermé. It was Verstappen who headed Leclerc in the first session as well. Verstappen was a 106.302 on the softs. He was 3.5 tenths clear of Leclerc as well. Say that when you're drunk. Russell was a 10th back in 3rd. Perez 4th and Hamilton 5th as well. Kevin Magnussen was running in 5th for Haas as well. But then corner cut at turn 10, dropped it down the order. Carlos Sainz was 6th as well, ahead of Fernando Alonso in the Alpine. Sergio Perez and Mick Schumacher with Yuki Tsunoda rounded out the top 10 with some good performance. Miserable morning for McLaren. Lando Norris stopping out on the track with fire underneath his seat as well. A change of power unit before qualifying as well. The second as well with red flags. And Danny Ricciardo wasn't happy with his car and was down in 17th position as well. Lance Stroll was 11th for Aston Martin, a fraction ahead of Esteban Ocon, who, like his Alpine teammate Alonso, did all his running on that session in P1 on the medium compound tyre. Vettel was down in 13th in the second Aston Martin. Valtteri Bottas is starting this weekend's race on Sunday from the back of the grid. So no matter what he does in the qualifying or the sprint, Sunday he starts at the back of the grid with a confirmed engine change. He was 14th ahead of Zhou, who was pass fit for this weekend after his crash at Silverstone a week ago. He was down in 18th position. Albon with the new Williams package was 14th ahead of Gasly, and Nicholas Latifi was down in 19th position as well. A very good opening practice 1 then. Everybody getting over 30 to 40 laps involved as well out there on the circuit. A lot of data before we went into qualifying. So, here we go again then for this first part of qualifying. 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining in this session. One ball with Joe Guanyu, who flicks it into turn 1. And the Niki Lauda curve, not too wide as he heads downhill once again. Past the new chicane for MotoGP. It's exactly the same track layout for Formula 1 as it has been since 1997. Uphill to turn 3 at Remus as well. Tight inside line, bit wide there.
Ooh,
keeps
close.
it all 4 wheels in just about. As he heads down the DRS zone as well, into Sochless Gold, a downhill turn 4.
Slow.
It's a 4th gear corner, but Joe's decided to take it in 3rd. Maybe these new cars are a little bit heavier on the brakes.
Can't blame him after last week.
Yeah, just taking it a little bit lighter. Through the ranch curve at turn 6.
Oh, that was all 4.
Yeah, he might get his lap time deleted as he comes around Verch curve, just about on it again. As we head down towards turn 9, the Rint curve. At turn number 9, flicks the car in, drops down, actually kept it in 7th gear.
Oh, that was all 4 again.
And definitely all 4 just at the last corner of the Red Bull Mobile. Cross the line then for Zhou. Doesn't improve on his last lap. His 9,000's down. Checker flag is out. Magnussen goes to 9th position as well. Bottas goes 11th. Tsunoda's the driver at risk in 15th place as well. He crosses the line to go 12th, puts his teammate Gasly at risk. Gasly goes across the line, stays 15th. This is a worry for them. Nicholas Latifi, can he get out of qualifying? No. Can't repeat the magic he did 6 days ago at Silverstone's qualifying. He stays 19th. Here comes Ricciardo, 18th at the moment as he approaches the line. Both McLarens, can they get through? No! Ricciardo starts the sprint at best in 16th position. Here comes Lance Stroll. Both Aston Martins in the drop zone at the moment as they come through. Stroll crosses the line, takes the checkered flag, stays in 17th position. Sebastian Vettel, he's 20th at the moment in the Aston, only goes 17th. Zhou Guanyu's already abandoned his lap time as Vettel confirms the elimination zone sees Ricciardo, Vettel, Stroll, Zhou and Latifi out. Albon goes through just into 14th as well as the 15 cars go through. Will not include Ricciardo, Vettel, Stroll, Zhou, Latifi as either on the board. Wow. 1 minute to go then in the second part of qualifying for the Austrian Grand Prix. Alexander Albon, 12th at the moment, with a personal best first sector, personal best second sector as well. Lewis Hamilton's going quite quick in the first sector. He's got another one left. So has Charles Leclerc, so has Max Verstappen, as Alexander Albon comes to the line to go 10th on a 106.230. Brilliant lap time there. But Sergio Perez, who's P12, is looking quite quick. 73 thousandths of a second up as well. Hamilton doesn't improve on his lap time, stays a 10th down as well, so he's going to have to pull up his British socks at the moment to really push through the power and get it down. Magnussen goes P6 as well. Russell still P5. Perez is the one though that is surprising us all in the drop zone. At Red Bull's home track, he's 12th, and at Red Bull's home track, 3 of the 4 cars are out, but as Josh Page just said, Gasly goes to 10th on a 106.1. Checkered flag is out then. What is going to happen? Here comes Sergio Perez into the last corner. He'll be the first one to meet the checkered flag. Verstappen goes second, 105.374. Perez goes 6th, 105.805. Now, Gasly, Bottas is out of qualifying. He starts 13th for the sprint, but last for the race anyway, due to a power unit change. Fernando Alonso is 9th at the moment, but goes a little bit wide at turn 9, just keeps it in. He's all 4 wheels off at turn 10, so Lando Norris might actually have an opportunity. No, Lando's out of qualifying. He's 15th, afraid to use the brakes as well. That proves it. Gasly and Albon now, I think, have done their lap times. They have.
Tsunoda's out too.
Tsunoda's out too. So in Q2, it's Gasly, Albon, Bottas, Tsunoda and Norris who face the chopping block going through to qualifying 3. Leclerc, Verstappen, Hamilton, Sainz, Russell, Perez, Magnussen, Ocon, Alonso and Schumacher going through. Both of the Haas cars go through. Both of the Alpines go through. Both the Mercedes go through. Both the Red Bulls go through. And both of the Ferraris go through. George Russell was a bit wide there. Mr. Consistency, but no longer after Silverstone. But everybody in the paddock and around the world has agreed to say, if he stays in there, there's a yellow flag. Lewis Hamilton's causing it, and Hamilton's in the wall. Lewis Hamilton is in the wall.
That tyre's gone.
And it is a red flag for Lewis Hamilton.
Yellow.
Who has hit the wall. It's a yellow at the moment. Surely it'll be a red. And it is a red flag.
Yeah.
Lewis Hamilton, who looked absolutely fantastic in the first half, has hit the wall. He's broken the rear left and the front left suspension. And Lewis Hamilton is out of qualifying. His first Q3 crash in around about 4 years. And that has delighted the Verstappen Dutch fans. But that is a costly crash for Mercedes going into the sprint tomorrow.
I think both his front right tyre and kind of the right side of his car is kind of messed up. Also, he has a little bit of things.
Radio.
Hang on.
Everything alright?
I was so sorry, guys. So sorry to damage the car.
Don't apologise.
Here's Russell's lap time then with 2:40. Oh, and he's lost it! Russell's lost it! And he's in the wall as well with a red flag. Two Mercedes making the same mistakes. And that is two Mercedes with a rear suspension change. The red flag is out with 2 minutes 30 to go. And Russell's hit the wall at turn 10.
Are both you and Hamilton okay?
Red flag again. 2:31 left on the clock. And they're going to have to restart the session.
What did they do to them?
I don't believe it. Mercedes are giggling almost.
Did they change something up?
I am lost for words.
Not consistent again then.
Last lap the call then here in qualifying number 3. Leclerc comes down towards turn number 1 on his fast and final lap as well. Can he get the speed he needs to do? I'm not sure. But Leclerc is only 91 thousandths off, Megan, of Verstappen as Verstappen starts his lap time.
I just thought of another meme.
Oh, Leclerc's down by a tenth of a second, so Leclerc hasn't got the grip as well.
If you cause another red flag, Leclerc, I think there'll be a riot.
I think Max might have pole position number 27 of his career coming his way, and pole for the sprint race as well. Little knock-up from Leclerc there in Slotchless Gold. Looked a little bit wide at the exit as well as the cars get swamped out by the sun there. The beautiful Scarlet Ferrari in front of all of the side points of the track as well.
I thought there was another person off then. It was a smoke.
Magnussen goes up to 7th. Mick goes up to 8th as well. That's Hamilton down into 10th. Alonso on a faster lap time. Checkered flag is out then. Who's going to be on pole position for the F1 sprint? Charles Leclerc, just on 4 wheels on the road, crosses the line and can't improve. Does improve! 105.013 is faster. Cross the line comes Fernando Alonso, stays 9th.
Sainz.
Carlos Sainz crosses the line and goes second fastest. Ferrari 1-2 in Red Bull's backyard. But what can Verstappen do about it? Verstappen goes top by 29 thousandths of a second. And listen to the crowd. He sends half of Holland who have made the way over to Austria into absolute raptures. And it's Perez 4th, Russell stayed in the pits, Ocon 6th, Magnus Schumacher have already taken it. It's his pole position number 14 for Max Verstappen. It's his third pole here on the Red Bull Ring. He matches that, as I said earlier, of Lauda, Arnoux, Piquet, Hamilton and Bottas with 3 pole positions each here at the Red Bull Ring. And it's the front row once again for the F1 sprint tomorrow that will see Verstappen and Leclerc down to turn 1. Bring on the F1 sprint, but I want it mainly to be the race because that is a very tasty grid. But we're going to have to do 24 laps of the F1 sprint tomorrow. So free practice 2 got underway on Saturday morning as well. Technical problems for us in the commentary box, but no such problems for anyone out in the circuit. They were straight out there. But, or bar, Mercedes. Lewis Hamilton having a complete chassis change after his crash in qualifying. He too having a new floor. Only got out with 14 laps to go. Only completing 3 laps. Not too bad, but still a bit of a bad one on the board. It was Carlos Sainz who was on top at 108.610. He was just 0.05 of a second clear of Leclerc, who was in second position as well. Max Verstappen rounded out the top 3 as well. Fourth was Alonso, and fifth for Ocon. Alpine continuing their fine form here this weekend in Austria. The duo within a quarter of a second of the leading time as well. Sergio Perez, who will start the sprint race on 13th as well after having all of his times from qualifying deleted in Q2 and in Q3, was quickest in as well, going ahead. He was 6th. Ahead of George Russell, who was 7th down there on the field as well. Valtteri Bottas, he was in 8th. Lewis Hamilton joining with a fray to go 14 minutes ago. He was 9th overall in the session as well. And Mercedes swapped Hamilton's chassis as well because of the damage in the previous qualifying. Lando Norris completed the top 10. Danny Ricciardo was way down the order in 17th, 4/10 off the pace of that of Lando Norris. Lance Stroll, Aston Martin in 11th ahead of Pierre Gasly and Sebastian Vettel as well. Vettel will start the sprint race last overall with an engine change. Zhou Guanyu was 14th, Alexander Albon 15th. Mick Schumacher and Kevin Magnussen 16th and 18th as well. Yuki Tsunoda split them in 17th, and Nicola Latifi was at the bottom of the timesheets as well. A lot of action out in free practice too once again, but it was already, the grid was set for the F1 sprint. Fernando Alonso does not have his tyre warmers taken off. He will start this race from the pit lane, and what on earth happened there? He's still on the rear jacks. He's still got his tyres covered. Alpine were not. He's still up on the jacks. I have not seen this since Ralf Schumacher back in 2001 at the Belgium Grand Prix, where they let the Williams mechanics left him up on the jacks.
Why are they starting?
I do not believe it. Well, they've had to start the procedure for the formation lap, but I do not believe what we just saw. The Alpine mechanics were too long, and he's going to start right at the back of the grid. Joe stopped.
Okay, we have to abandon this start now.
Abandoned start. Start abandoned. We've got a yellow flag. Zhou Guanyu stopped. And the start of the F1 sprint, I believe, is being abandoned. We've got a yellow flag. And 3 flashing lights means this will be a 23-lap sprint, not a 24.
This is not looking good.
The lights, come on, for the second F1 sprint. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Action for the F1 sprint. Good start from Leclerc. He's going to have the inside line. Max Verstappen cuts him off. Leclerc's almost off the track. Here comes Hamilton. No contact in front of Hamilton. Round goes Pierre Gasly. He's dropped down the order already after starting into 10th position. 23-lap sprint confirmed. But look at Charles Leclerc. He pulls to the outside line to try and get ahead of Max Verstappen. Verstappen goes deep and Sainz goes through to second. Leclerc thought Verstappen was going to force him off. Off goes Alexander Albon. And here comes Carlos Sainz going for second, he says. And he's taken him round the outside into Sonchless Gold. Leclerc comes back through on the inside line. And Leclerc takes second. But the field is already split up massively. As it was, Gasly got spun round at turn 1.
And further down, we have Alonso trying to claw his way back up too.
Alonso's in the pit lane, Josh.
Yeah, Alonso hasn't got going.
Hasn't he?
Alonso is out then of the sprint. That starts even worse. Zhou has got going. Alonso's in the pit lane. Alonso starts this sprint race and the race tomorrow from 20th on the grid. He qualified 8th. He will start the race down the order. 23 laps to go. So even every graphic is wrong now, thanks to that aborted start. As they come in again, Hamilton is up. Hamilton's down to 11th. He was 2 places on the start. He had to brake for Gasly, spinning across him down in towards turn 1. But Leclerc leads by 1.1 seconds. Sorry, Verstappen leads by 1.2 seconds to Leclerc. Get a regroup, because I don't know what's going on. You don't know what's going on. This sprint again, messing up the orders.
Who spun Gasly round though? That's my question, because I was watching that and I couldn't really tell.
Well, I think it was Magnussen. I swear it was Magnussen. But Alonso still in the pit lane. Gasly was the one who spattered across the track as well as they come through here again. Racing continues here. Let's take a look at the start again, Megan, to see if we can make sense. Lights out for the sprint. And look at Gasly. So already more cars on the right than there were on the left. And Gasly gets a tag there. But I can't tell. It was Hamilton. It was Hamilton. So I thought it wasn't Computer saying it was.
Jeez.
Let's take a look. Gasly's going to come through on the outside line. Hamilton's going to come across him, and yeah.
Oh, he was sandwiched in the middle.
So, yeah, it was.
unfortunate.
That's why Hamilton's lost 2 places. I thought it was Albon who did it because Gasly came across. Light-hearted lift there from Lewis, and there was just all sorts of chaos coming through.
He was sandwiched between both Gasly and Albon. That was just the destiny to happen. If you're sandwiched in between other drivers, then you're bound to have an accident. So
Gasly has had an accident in 3 of the 4 sprint races we've had so far, by the way. So
I can guess which is his least favourite session to do.
probably the F1 sprint. So it's lap 3 or lap 2? We've yet to establish the 2. Lap 3.
I would say 2. I would have put it as 2, personally.
I'll tell you what, the internet is struggling here on my laptop at the moment. It's catching a lot of things, so I'm turning off the YouTube thing as well to try and maintain things coming through again.
If you want, I can turn off mine.
We keep losing internet on... we're back with you on USON. Sorry if we keep dropping out there as well on USON
okay.
radio, but here we go. Verstappen with the fastest lap of the race as we start lap 4 with... it says 21 to go. I believe it's now caught up correctly. Out of the 23 sprint laps we've got, Hamilton looks to the inside line of Alexander Albon into turn 1 and makes the move. Stick Megan with a sweet move.
Smooth. That was very, very smooth. And I can see that Danny Rick...
But yeah.
Oh, no. Now Norris is moving up.
Norris tries to go right round the outside of Albon. There's Danny Rick coming into it. Lando is going to full send it. Jumps over the sausage curve as well. Alexander Albon is sending it side by side. Albon stays ahead. And Lando goes back through as well. I can already sense what Josh Plays want to say. It's not George this time. It's Lando. Or this is Alex in this case. Am I right?
No.
And the two McLarens going side by side now. Ricciardo caught right back up towards Lando Norris to come into the party. Game on. Game on.
Right, so I'm going to take you through the top 5. Well, it's still the same top 5. Right now in first is Verstappen, second Leclerc, Sainz is third, fourth Russell, and fifth is Ocon. Well, someone's going to be up there for the Alpines, let's face it.
Alonso is officially out of the race. It's a wet race tomorrow, computer predicts as well, so we hope that it's going to be a better one now. As the fastest lap goes to Charles Leclerc, 1:08.321. Zhou setting the fast lap after standing in the pit lane. But look at that, Tsunoda down 3, Gasly down 8. AlphaTauri have had the worst luck in this sprint race as Magnussen dives up the inside of Esteban Ocon, goes too deep, Ocon gets back. Yeah, well, the top 7 are status quo, so something needs to change there.
Oh my God, they are.
Because Alonso started 8th. It's after that it all changes. Perez up 5 places already before he started. Albon and Norris noted for forcing another driver off the track as Schumacher, currently in P7, is on course for his second ever points finish in Formula 1, and it comes from a sprint race. But it will be 2 races running. The main race in Silverstone and the sprint race here today.
I hope this is the start of him constantly getting points. I would love to see that. Could he still win the championship now?
Everybody has a mathematical attempt because Verstappen is only on 181 points. So everybody, I think, at the moment with 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, with 275 points still on offer, plus another 8 points for the sprint. Everyone's still on the table to win the championship, so yes. But it'll take a miracle as up the inside, the 2 Ferraris make him move. Leclerc goes deep and almost takes off the front wing of Carlos Sainz up at Remus. What is happening? The 2 Ferraris...
I think they've changed their attitudes towards each other.
The 2 Ferraris were said this morning in the press conference by Mattia Binotto that Leclerc and Sainz are free to race each other. There will be no team orders, but it's proving to be a categorical mistake of errors as Albon passes Norris. So that Williams has got pace.
I think Leclerc's feeling threatened by Sainz. It's like, okay, he's won. He can take this championship from me. He's being fast. Okay, let's just race him like I'm racing Max.
See who's going to come out on top. See who's going to have the bigger advantage. So, Verstappen leads 2.3 seconds in this F1 sprint. Leclerc second, Verstappen Sainz third as well. As they keep changing up further back as well. Magnussen is being caught by his teammate Mick Schumacher. This F1 sprint race is already 7 laps down. All 4 wheels off for who, Megan?
I think both Perez and Mick, actually.
So Mick and Perez following each other, got dragged off the line to come forward
Maybe
as well.
Perez, come to think of it.
Second DRS zone coming up there towards turn 3 at Remus. Is it going to be an opportunity? The two Ferraris continue to make battles as well. Look at Carlos Sainz on the way to Sochi's gold. Sainz pulls to the outside line. Leclerc has the inside line into the braking zone, and Sainz gets nudged off, and Leclerc goes wide. They both were running each other way too deep for a sprint race. They take each other out right here. They start 19th and 20th on the grid tomorrow.
Danny Rick goes up into 12th position now. The McLarens are just slowly moving up the order together. Have you noticed?
Slowly, catchy monkey. That's what they like to say, isn't it? As they come back through.
It generally is like monkeys. You know that game where you put monkeys on the tree? It's like they want to do that.
What's that? Kaplunk? Is it Kaplunk? So,
I don't know
Sainz dive bomb Leclerc. Here's the radio.
Thought that fight was up front. Copy it. Stay cool.
So Sainz dive bombed Leclerc at turn 3. Leclerc came back as Sainz went wide. Sainz tried the outside to turn 4. Leclerc got a bit of wiggle on and forced Sainz to really take it wide.
I don't know what to think of that.
Magnussen's gone off the track, Megan, and has lost a lap time on the next one. That's what's coming up on my screen. My voice has gone. Lewis Hamilton round the outside of Valtteri Bottas into turn 3 at Remus. Gives Bottas plenty of room. Bottas was still there, so that was a lovely race between the two of them as well as they continue to battle on.
That was a little high. Do you remember when we used to be teammates? It's not anymore.
On the inside as Hamilton makes the move ahead of Valtteri Bottas for 9th position. Great race there then between them. But I tell you what,
brings back memories.
we may be challenging saying, oh my god, this is an excellent little battle, but this is an F1 sprint race, and overall it doesn't really do anything because now we've had the exciting part of the race. 15 laps to go. I doubt we're going to have another one. Oh, 5-second time penalty for Alexander Albon for forcing another driver off the track. So
Yeah,
Albon 13th is going to now qualify 18th for tomorrow's main race. I mean, the sprint just doesn't work. It doesn't work.
You can have Gasly next to him.
I personally don't think the sprint race works, but it's always fun seeing more F1 races.
Oh my god, he will have Gasly next to him.
He is. Go on, Josh.
Sprint with no time penalties. Yes.
Oh, and
Sprint
Perez on the inside of Schumacher and forces him wide. Perez with a sweet move there in front of the Red Bull fans, and you can hear them cheering all the way from here in Austria all over to Mexico City. Brilliant move.
That was close. I'm glad Magnussen got out of the way there.
No,
That
it was
could have
Schumacher.
No,
Magnussen was in front.
Yeah, it was almost a sandwich because he was very close to being in a sandwich with the pair of them. Very quickly moved out of the way.
Ted.
For the drivers behind him, leaving Russell more or less completely unchallenged. He doesn't have the pace of Sainz and Leclerc in front of him, but he's just consolidating 4th. Yeah.
Cheers, Ted. Okay, so the battle continues on. Just a quick little comment there from Tedos Kravitz. And this field continuing to battle again. Here is Sergio Perez coming through as well. Ocon nearly 2 seconds ahead of Magnussen, SHT says, and it's true. Magnussen down then 1.7 behind Ocon as well, so that's closing in. Here is Sergio Perez then through the new complex as well. That's designed for the MotoGP. It's exactly the same layout for F1. Uphill, little kink at 2, into 3. Perez on the outside line. Magnussen not going to do it. Perez shuts the door, deals with 2 Hasses in 2 laps.
Nice.
Thank you. Thank you. I work on that as they come through. But Perez goes up to 6th position then. And Sainz is looking good. Sainz dropped 2 seconds back to Leclerc. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that must have been a team order. So much for let them race.
Let them race. They're not in a sprint.
6 times a year we're going to have the F1 sprint next season. I just about can manage 3 because it's... Oh, we've got a yellow flag. Someone's gone off the track. Can you see why, Josh? I can't see anything at the moment, but yellow flag, Sector 2. Oh, and there's a camera.
Is there anyone in Sector 2?
Vettel's off in the gravel trap. Sebastian Vettel has spun off. He's found reverse. He'll get it back to the little runoff area on the intro there. And if he can select first gear again without stalling, he'll get going again. But Vettel now qualifies 19th, and Vettel gets going again. Good thinking there from the guy who wants to save the bees this weekend with his helmet.
I'm just glad that he actually realised, okay, I should probably reverse this.
Yeah, let's take
Not
a
go
look.
forward.
Oh, he got punted off by Nicholas Latifi.
What did it with the Williams this weekend?
Well, Nicholas Latifi, let's hear from Vettel.
Yeah, Albon hit me there.
It's Albon.
Oh, seriously, Albon, that's 2.
Well, I apologise to Nicholas Latifi. He's the Williams who was in front, so I thought Vettel was actually further down than he was. It's Alexander Albon. Vettel tries to go around the outside of the Burch curve and just gets punched off by Albon. Really, there isn't space to go around there. We saw it this morning in Formula 3, but there isn't space for F1 cars to go side by side there. Kudos for both of them for trying, but that was only going to win one. Go on, Josh.
The incident's noted.
I think Alexander Albon woke up and chose violence today.
I think he did, didn't he? He's a bit all out of it as they come in.
I think Albon's red hair has faded away.
It seeped into his brain. That's why
I was just thinking
he's hearing red instead as well. He's thinking as well.
Noble.
Here comes again. Perez on the inside line, getting ahead as the two Haas cars go side by side. Perez passes for 5th position.
Cheers.
Yeah, the cheers in the background are audible almost over our headset mics.
We're in Red Bull country.
And Ocon's fighting him back though, trying to go round the outside. Didn't work off there. Esteban, nicely go though, but Hamilton is closing in on Schumacher and on Magnussen. Schumacher is in the last points paying position, by the way, for the sprint, which is 1 point for 8th.
Just Hamilton, just give him this. Give him this. Please.
Well, Lewis Hamilton needs to qualify better after a poor race yesterday.
9th is fine.
Qualifying? Yeah, 9th is fine. Bottas 10th. But this, of course, sets the grid for tomorrow's race. Rain in the air for tomorrow. 80% chance of when the lights go out and 100% chance in the morning. So it'll be damp either way.
It's probably best if he's in 9th, because then that's midfield. They get to see if there's an accident up ahead.
Here comes Lewis Hamilton, though, again, trying to pass Mick into turn 1. Hasn't worked out, but Mick has took a bad exit. Lewis has got a perfect exit, and he's got the DRS as well. Hamilton opens up the DRS on the run-up towards turn 3 at Remus. Mick also has the DRS to try and defend. And nothing into Remus at turn 3. Now downhill to Socialist Gold.
Doesn't make the move. He must be deciding to go round turn 1.
Round the outside turn 4 maybe. He's trying to put it there. Mick's got the inside line. Mick should run him out wide if Hamilton's down the outside turn 4. Usually he puts his victims in that gravel trap. He did twice last year. He did put himself in there though back in 2020 as it's almost contact as that was too close to call as Hamilton let Schumacher go back through and didn't really want to fight him there. 10
It's
to
like
go.
watching a predator and a prey.
Yeah, 10 to go in the F1 sprint due to the abandoned lap time.
It's like when you have like a gazelle in the safari and there's a cheetah running up and you're just like, I don't know who to choose to root for. Do I root for the gazelle to live or the cheetah to actually get some lunch?
Down we go then as well. Ted.
And Hamilton, isn't it, Crosby, all over again? Charles Leclerc is starting to eat away at Verstappen's lead. I think Verstappen is comfortable. He will start to respond, but Leclerc is quicker at this moment.
2.5.
He is quicker at the moment, isn't he? Leclerc is still 2.3 seconds back. Verstappen is checked out, which is making us worry about tomorrow's race. Whether or not this is going to be another situation where Verstappen is just going to go hand over fist and just go, and Verstappen just goes for it. Hamilton's struggling to get past the two Haas cars. We're in for an entertaining race tomorrow, and we're kind of hoping it is going to be a wet race, aren't we?
I do hope it's going to be a wet race because this is the first race where I can actually fully concentrate on it and not have to worry about having to go to college the next day.
Yes, as it comes through as well.
Let it be a long one.
Nice to have you back, by the way, for the remainder of the season. Well, the next couple of months anyway, as they come through. And again, Hamilton is closing down. And hang on, Leclerc and Sainz apparently have taken 2 new tyres. According to the driver tracker, they're on brand new mediums.
When did you have the time?
Josh, are you seeing this? According to this, it's brand new mediums for Leclerc and Sainz. That's got to be a glitch, correct?
Yeah, that's they've not pitted.
Yeah, Josh has confirmed they have not stopped then. Gwenwyn says, sigh, the struggle of an Australian F1 fan. I just woke up and missed the first 14. Don't worry, you haven't missed much, apart from the fact that Alonso's out, Vettel's gone for a spin, Albon's got a 5-second time penalty, and Zhou Guan Yu stalled and caused an aborted start. Other than that, you missed nothing. But Hamilton right now battling to try and get through Mick Schumacher. Meantime ahead as well, they're still all battling. Hamilton tries the outside line to Sochless Gold, and Mick's got the inside line covered at the exit as well. Ricciardo is trying to pass Norris for the F1 sprint. This is getting a lot like the teams are telling the drivers save your grid positions if they're running 1-2 with each other. Because look, Leclerc and Sainz, they've gapped out. Magnussen and Schumacher, they've gapped out. Norris and Ricciardo gapped out as well. Tsunoda and Gasly have gapped out and not racing each other. So if you're following your teammate, you're not allowed to race, it seems, in the F1 sprint.
That is surprising.
Makes sense, though. Oh, Ricciardo.
Let me see what I can do and clear out. Daniel, we're looking at it. I'll get back to you.
Ricciardo says, let me see what I can do in clean air. It's a qualifying. It's a qualifying.
It's like, I want to see what I can do in clean air. Just like, I'm not sure you know how this works, Daniel.
Yeah, it's a qualifying position for tomorrow. It is not a race. Although, they're not even fighting for points at the moment. They're just fighting for a grid position tomorrow. So
they're just fighting.
Yeah, who's going to give that advantage? Are you really going to say to the other, okay, you can now go through, but you can't? It's a dangerous tactic to play.
It's just like, here, we favour this person. The other, fend for yourself.
Right now then, as well as you can see, Verstappen, Leclerc, Sainz, 1, 2, 3. They're separated by around about 5.7 seconds.
Ooh,
but Leclerc is starting to close in that gap that Verstappen had, and it's closing with 8 laps to go of the sprint. Mick is defending hard on the 7-time champion this time. Yeah.
I love how one side of a track is bright sunshine and the other just darkness.
Seems to work out as well. Josh Plays has switched his camera back on, which means we can switch him back on as well, as he's busy at race control. If you're watching on the YouTube or if you're listening on USRN, welcome. And as soon as we're done here on USRN, go over and listen to the end of the Women's Wimbledon final with Matthew Owens talking you through the action as well. Here comes Hamilton once again, though, trying to have the DRS toe. Not working out this time. This is an amazing battle, isn't it, Megan? I'm loving this, but again, would have loved it more if it was the main race tomorrow, because I feel like they're all holding back. Ted.
So all that good work that Russell did earlier, just running in free air, means that he does have a buffer to Perez, who's closing not so quickly behind him, Crofty. 4 seconds, I believe it is, at the moment.
Yeah.
So
nearly
he
5.
might run out of laps, Sergio Perez, before he tries to get Russell.
Can we be a driver of the sprint?
Driver of the sprint?
Yeah, because I think it's Perez.
Yeah, Perez had all his Q3 lap times deleted by the stewards and his fastest time of Q2.
He's so determined.
And he started 13th on the grid, made his way up into 5th position as well as, again, this is the battle with Zhou Guanyu and Pierre Gasly. So Gasly's 15th, Zhou is in 16th position as well. This is further down for the race tomorrow. Josh, anything saying on the stewards right now about anything lap times or anything like that interesting to talk about?
Nope, just Perez lap time, Verstappen, track limits at turn 10 next lap, Perez track limits turn 1, Sainz track limits turn 9, Gasly track limits turn 10.
Here comes Lewis Hamilton again though with the DRS. He's trying to find a way through. He just can't pass Mick Schumacher. We saw this in the sprint in Imola. If Lewis gets stuck behind a group of cars, he can't get through. He's trying around the outside, he just doesn't have the power. So the Mercedes we saw at Silverstone, which could overtake, we're not seeing here in the sprint race because he can't overtake.
Maybe it depends on the track.
Could do. This is a track that Mercedes have historically struggled at.
That could be it. They don't struggle at Silverstone because of how wide the track is.
And it's a flat surface as well.
Yeah.
Here we've got loads of up and down hills, 63.5 metre elevation change, as well. So it's constantly changing, constantly battering. Here we go again then. I think Magnussen might have secured 7th position as well. Bad luck for Alonso. He didn't even start this one as well. He starts tomorrow's race 20th, qualified 8th. He's the biggest loser of the sprint race, unfortunately, for Fernando Alonso. Same could be said for Zhou Guanyu. He's out in 16th position, and Zhou qualified actually 18th, so Zhou's actually made places up. Here comes Schumacher as well. Defending against Lewis Hamilton with all his might. Hamilton nearly runs into the back of him. Wow, that was so much more speed from Lewis. It was like he pressed the overtake button. Mick's going to defend the inside line. I think he did. I think there was a little touch there.
Vettel,
Did he hit that
blue
magic
flag.
button thing?
He hit the magic button. Schumacher defends the inside line again. Hamilton can't find a way around the outside this time. It's not going to work out for him. And Mick holds on for 8th position.
Oh, he closes that door very quickly.
Hamilton can't find a way through. Josh, what did you say?
Blue flags for Vettel.
So he's been caught up already then to Verstappen. And it's taken him. And Verstappen's actually been held up. And there was touching, Megan. You're right. With spotting skills like that, you should be on Wimbledon. Calling out. That was perfect.
Umpire.
Umpire, yeah, should be the umpire. Best job in the world for you. Just sit in your chair, shout juice.
I love that.
Head's gone off at least 4 times in front of him.
Copy that.
Actually, Lewis, you've gone off track more times. He's been perpendicular to the road in
It's like,
between the two lines.
The car head's gone off like
Oh,
4
Lewis
times.
sent it up the inside. That was just a look.
What are you doing, Lewis?
Lewis sent it up the inside. No opportunity to look for a move though on Schumacher. And look, Bottas is getting up behind him now as well.
Ooh.
And Hamilton dives to the outside line with the DRS into Sochler's gold. Schumacher's got the inside line and Schumacher forces him off. Oh, listen to the crowd.
On him. Big cheers
They
from the
love
fans.
Mick.
They love Mick and they love seeing Lewis in trouble. They cheered yesterday when he crashed in qualifying. Many people said that wasn't correct. Me personally, if the driver's okay and he's had a crash, cheer.
You're allowed to be happy that there was some action.
Cheer because it's changed the complexion of the weekend. That is exciting. If a driver makes a genuine mistake, it's fine.
Sure.
The will this time.
Tell Kevin to slow down so I can get DRS.
Understood.
So they need Mick to slow down. So they need Kevin to slow down so Mick can get the DRS because Hamilton's all over him. Josh.
Black and white flag for Sonoda track limits.
So holding that down as well. Here, I need a new vocal cord set. I think I've blown them over this past week. And here comes Lewis Hamilton once again. Then pulls to the outside line at Remus at turn 3. Schumacher shuts him off the track. Hamilton cuts back to the inside line. This time Mick can't do anything about it. Hamilton has the advantage. Pulls on with the DRS. And Lewis Hamilton is up into 8th position. Despite a little bit of body contact, Schumacher is down into 9th position but gets the cutback. Can't get the power down and it's shut the door.
Come on, Mick, you can do this. You're your father's son and your uncle's nephew.
That would make sense, yeah.
Racing is in your blood.
That-
Literally, you take an injection out of them for blood and it's just fuel.
What type of fuel though?
Diesel.
Diesel.
That's what I thought of. Fine, petroleum.
Come on, Josh.
Uranium.
Magnussen radio right now. Don't slow down, Hamilton's behind you. Go.
Yeah, he's just been told to slow it down so Mick can get the DRS. Now he's going to have to speed up again because Hamilton's right behind him. And this will put him down on the grid. So we expected Hamilton to do a much better sprint qualifying, a bit like what we saw last year in that of Brazil, but he's not doing it. He's stuck behind the two Haas cars and has been for the majority of the race. We are about to start the last lap. It's a 23-lap sprint. Ignore the timing tower that says 2 to go because of the aborted start. This is now the last lap of the F1 sprint. Max Verstappen is about to extend his lead in the championship from 34 points to 35 points. Vettel Radio.
Sebastian, we have to box this lap, please. Box this lap.
And side by side, Zhou Guanyu sends it up the inside of Pierre Gasly and Sochler's goal.
Not again.
As Vettel retires on the last lap of the sprint. I don't know why he's decided to do that all of a sudden, but I suppose we'll just nod our heads and agree it was a strange decision.
Honestly, I think that Gasly and Zhou should just stay away from each other the rest of the season.
Josh.
Please.
Vettel's engineer sounded quite concerned, so I don't know if there's a mechanical from the spin earlier.
Could be. Maybe the suspension damage or something they found. Either way, the Dutch army are letting it off. Sorry, Megan. Instead of 2 races in Austria, you've actually commentated on 3 this year because this is the sprint race. and the main race tomorrow. But for pole position, he took pole yesterday in qualifying. He wins the sprint race. He gets 8 more points. Max Verstappen wins the second F1 sprint of 2022. He gets 8 more championship points, and with it, he starts on pole position for tomorrow's race. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 status quo, because it's Verstappen from Leclerc, Sainz and Russell exactly as they qualified. So I say again, what is the point of the F1 sprint race? 23 laps of just a little bit of interest. That shows us Hamilton can't really race anymore.
The only change is the fact that Hamilton's now in 8th and that Perez is now in 5th.
Perez starts 5th on the grid, yeah.
Schumacher, no points.
Schumacher, no points again. Starts 9th, qualified 7th. Lost 2 places in that sprint race.
I'm not wrong, am I, that Perez was in 5th before, right?
Perez,
before he got his deleted.
Yes, you're correct.
Fourth.
So he's just made, he was 4th before.
It's just given him it back.
Josh told me he was 4th before, so he's only a place back. Let's take a look at the Red Bull Ring in Spielberg, Austria. 2.683 mile circuit, 10 corners as well. Many drivers say this is like a kart track. It's short track racing for F1, always providing a thriller race. Get a good exit out of the last corner, open up the DRS and hurtle down towards turn number 1. You're in 8th gear, flat out, drop the gear to around about 5th gear, flick the car in towards the right, get on the power mid-exit as well, open up your DRS for the first time on this lap, hurtle uphill towards the little kink in the hill, that's turn 2, and then brake hard for turn 3 at Remus, uphill, 3rd gear corner, tight right as well, it slips you out and sometimes controls the wheel spin again. Open up the DRS, now downhill once again towards turn 4 at Soxless Gold. It's a heavy braking opportunity down 4th gear, have to drop into 3rd occasionally if the rear of the car won't stop. Round turn number 5 as well, this is into Pirelli, flinging into turn 7 and 8, coming through as well, back on the accelerator, use as much exit curve as well, late dart into the Burch curve at turn 7, round up the hill at turn 8, 9 and 10 next up as well, 8th gear over the crest as well, drop it down 2 gears into the Rindt corner at turn 9, into the Red Bull Mobile, which is the last corner as well, back on the accelerator up towards turn 1 at Lauda, and that is a lap of the Red Bull Ring here in Spielberg, a flat out track. Everybody, welcome to USRN and YouTube. We are live here, ready to go for the race. The pit lane is about to go green, which means we're going to head down to the one and only, the man, the myth, the legend. We're going to head down to take Kravitz.
By his teammate Charles Leclerc, I can see coming down the pit lane now. So Ferrari, mean business today. They were beaten quite soundly in the sprint race yesterday. They want to make amends, but the story of the weekend really has to be about Ferrari. They come here on top, having won their first Grand Prix since April at last week's British Grand Prix. Carlos Sainz the winner, and he has the confidence of going into this weekend. Charles Leclerc tried to get the best of him and did in the end in the sprint race yesterday. Both of them made Max Verstappen's job easier in winning that pole position. Max doesn't even have to worry about the Mercedes duo of Hamilton and Russell yesterday, because they compromised their weekend with both of them crashing in Friday qualifying. So this is the Verstappen's race to lose. And as far as the pit stop strategies go, it's very close, as we've heard, I think, from George Russell already so far. Very close between a 1 and a 2 stop. On paper, 1 stop is actually the quickest way to run the Austrian Grand Prix. Start on the medium tyre, go to lap 25 or 26, and then put the hard tyre on and go to the end. 71 laps. 71 laps of action around here, David Croft. And it's always action around this A1 ring. What
Red
used to be
Bull
called
ring.
the A1 ring. I knew I'd do it. Now named the Red Bull
Right,
ring.
let's go to Thor Crofty.
You see, that's you talking about Ferrari, Ted, who of course haven't won here since it was the A1 ring back in 2003. Interestingly, the word from the Carlos Sainz camp yesterday was that tyre management wasn't a thing, and Charles Leclerc was managing his tyres and was compromising his teammates' pace. How will Ferrari sort that out a little later today? Can they get anywhere near Max Verstappen, who of course led from start to finish in the sprint race and has led from start to finish in the last 2 Grand Prix here as well? And if he leads the first 4 laps today, he moves into the top 10 of all-time laps led consecutively at the same circuit. If he's still out in front by lap 43, He'll actually move second in that table behind Ayrton Senna and his great record in Monaco. But it's not just Max Verstappen that's got pace. His teammate Sergio Perez showed plenty of it yesterday, going from 13th on the grid up to 5th. I did catch a brief word with Sergio Perez a little earlier. I said, what, podium today? 3, 2? And he went, no, 1. I still think a win could be possible. So we'll see what happens there. It's the 6th time in 2022 that Max and Charles Leclerc have lined up together on the front row. So far, the world champion leads 3-2 in that particular head-to-head. And we should give a special mention to Esteban Ocon, the 76th driver today to start 100 Grand Prix, and in what is his 50th Grand Prix for the Enstone outfit on the track that he first raced for them a couple of seasons ago. And if Pierre Gasly needs a little pick-me-up after his third lap 1 incident in the last 4 sprint races, well, he occupies lucky number 14 today on the grid, Nats. And as you well know, lucky number 14 has produced 6 podium finishes here in the past. So it's not just the top 10 that have got a chance today.
Thanks, Crofty. Well, Josh Plays, who will be in race control on the Discord as well, getting all the information, is alongside me in the commentary box at the moment as well. We've got around about 36 minutes until the lights go out. We are set, Josh, for an absolutely tremendous race as well. Sergio Perez has just been out on his outlap, and he's actually locked up, I believe. Yeah, he's locked up the front right tyre coming into turn 3 uphill, and flat spotted the tyres that he's going to the grid on as well in front of the Red Bull supporters. They give that a bit of a cheer, but we are in for a fantastic race today. So much action. There's a threat of rain in the air as well. What are you most looking forward to ahead of today's race?
Red Bull battling with hopefully Mercedes.
I would say that's a pretty good bet. Red Bull battling with Ferrari, hopefully Mercedes as well. We're going to have grid walk soon as well, and National Anthem live, so you can stay with us here on the watch along as well. Sergio Perez back out there on a brand new set of soft compound tyres, being told it's a different set than what he had left. Now, Perez came to the grid. He had 3 sets of old soft C5 compound tyres left as well. He's put a second set on to take him to the grid, presumably his race set. That's a risky move, I would say, from Red Bull, because if he locks up again, it's going to be more issues.
It really is not ideal to be looking up as we see the trophies on top of the piano. Well, not kind of on top.
Just alongside, next to the piano, yeah, next to the piano.
Yeah.
They're coming in as well. So I hope Martin's going to do a grid walk, because so far I haven't seen him in the pre-show, and I haven't seen Martin since this morning when he gave out the trophies in the Formula 3 race, which was an absolute cracker. If you didn't see the F3 or F2 races, they're available to watch along now as well. The F2 race was fantastic. Half the field, 11 cars starting on the wet tyre. The rest of the other 11 starting on the dries. I think you could work out what happened. It was a bone-dry track as well. Let's take a look back at the start yesterday, Josh, as well. Great start from Verstappen. Immediately blocked off Leclerc and sort of forced him towards the pit wall. And the stewards have told Max, don't do that again today in the race, or you might force a penalty, because effectively it's forcing another driver off the track.
Yeah, it is forcing another driver off the track, and as we see on board with Hamilton, with the
Gasly
going on
yeah.
into the back of Gasly, and caught some air. Quite a lot of air, should we say?
Yeah, but sort of jumped up. It was lucky he didn't roll like what we saw happen to the... Well, if you remember what happened to... image that reminds me of Joe Guanyu just a week ago here at Silverstone as well. But the Red Bull ring, I can see already, they're getting ready. Max Verstappen not on the car grid just yet. His mechanics are all ready. They're just setting up some of the boxes as well. He's not nearly ready on the circuit. He's getting wheeled through, I'm being told in my ear. Now we're seeing it on our TV pictures in front of us. So being wheeled through to the back of the grid. We're a couple of minutes away from either a grid walk or some sort of talk and interviews from the drivers as well. Ted Kravitz is patrolling the pit lane. Rachel Brooks is around as well for Sky Sports, catching drivers coming back from the bathroom. And on the grid is Natalie Pinkham, Naomi Shift and Johnny Herbert as well. I know Martin's in the commentary box, that's all I can tell you. But whether or not we actually see him, I'm not sure. Why would we keep dropping connection? keep dropping connection to USRN, but that's no worry. We're back with it now. Just a few tech problems there as we get started. So it is a 71-lap race as well. We're getting very excited for it as well. Around this 4.318-kilometre circuit. You saw it if you're with us for the lap attack guide as well. Exactly how challenging this circuit is. We've got 3 DRS zones back-to-back with each other, Josh, as well. And we saw in the sprint some very exciting racing with that DRS train that could follow.
Yeah, you've got the DRS up the front straight and then up through exit of turn 1 through turn 2. And where the new MotoGP chicane is, and it's a new MotoGP chicane which we aren't using this weekend, it's just for the motorbikes. It's very tight, 290 degree, and it's to prevent, we saw very bad crashes at turn 3, but we'll get into that more when MotoGP returns to the Red Bull Ring.
In late August as well, so next month. Just being told, quite comically enough, that Fernando Alonso, who is starting at the 10th row of the grid in 19th position, but he's last on the grid due to Bottas starting from the pit lane due to change everything. Alonso has been told he has to start at the back because he has changed a gearbox and he has changed overall several items of the car as well, including a power unit. So Alonso starts at the back anyway. Max Verstappen's finally been wheeled into place. We've got half an hour to go. Ted's got news.
Behind you, Natalie. Just having a look at Max Verstappen. There he is. There's Max Verstappen. He's not even taking his crash helmet off as he goes back to the garage. And drivers are increasingly doing this. They're getting, normally a lot of them would get out of the car, take their crash helmet off, put it by the side of the track, and then talk to their engineer about how the car felt on the way to the grid. Because, you know, as far as the regulations goes, they just want the cars to get to the grid. What the teams do, and all the drivers, is use it as a little test session. It's a very nice, useful little test session just to go out and see how the car feels. Maybe they'll come into the pits and change the tyres. And we saw Sergio Perez out there with a little brake problem, didn't we? Well, not as much as a brake problem is. Maybe the brakes were just new. Maybe they had to change something in Parc Fermé. We'll have a look at the details from the FIA when we get it. But he had a little lock-up, and that will be preying on his mind for the start, won't it? Sergio Perez has already felt that the track conditions are different from yesterday. They are significantly different. We got a huge amount of cloud cover actually here, and it is significantly cooler than at the sprint race yesterday. But we can see actually right behind and beside, or just behind Verstappen's car, Carlos Sainz, who was able to take that line around the outside at yesterday's sprint race as Leclerc and Verstappen battled towards the front. And he is doing what the normal kind of drivers do that Verstappen is not. Just having a discussion there with Ricky, his engineer, just putting the cap on, having a feel, having a think about how the car felt on the way, and how the car felt on the way to the grid, and just seeing whether he needs to make any more adjustments. They have a choice of tyres. We're all expecting them really to go with the medium tyre first, but we could see some hard tyres. The hard tyre is a lovely race tyre, so the engineers are calling it, an absolutely lovely race tyre. But it will be interesting if somebody decides to start on it. Just made my way to the front of Esteban Ocon's car. Let's see if we can grab a quick word with him, Natalie, before we come back to you, because what a great starting position for Ocon. Of course, took advantage of some of the fights in front of him, and the fact that Lewis Hamilton couldn't get past the Haas of Mick Schumacher for quite a while, and he starts right behind the Mercedes of George Russell and alongside Sergio Perez. So come around here, Lee, actually. We can just see what the engineer, the notes that the engineer is making on his sheet. So he'll be getting the feedback from Esteban, talking about the handling, how he felt the car was, and seeing if there's any latest things or issues that they can do. Esteban actually just saying it's okay. He thinks it's going to be all right. Ocon's teammate Fernando Alonso has to start from the back of the grid. Couldn't get the car actually fired up. But starting from 6th position, I think Ocon has got a great chance of getting some good points. And that's what they need, Alpine, in their fight with McLaren. But just waiting for him to finish. Don't want to interrupt his discussion with there. At the back of the grid is Alonso with Valtteri Bottas. We'll talk about Bottas a little bit later. How did the track feel on the way to the grid, Esteban?
Good, Ted. Yeah, I think the wheel has calmed down comparison to yesterday, so there's a mid-bone grip in general. So.
And cooler as well.
Yeah, it is cooler. So let's see. Interesting.
Okay, we'll let you go. You need to go and do your things there. So, Natalie, we will just see if we can talk to one more driver, Kevin Magnussen, who really was the beneficiary, one of the beneficiaries of the fight with between his teammate and Mick Schumacher and Lewis Hamilton, meant that Kevin Magnussen could go along. So great team play from the Haas drivers yesterday. And wouldn't it be great to see Haas get back in the points here? They haven't brought any new bits to their car for quite some time. They know they've got a good package, but for whatever reason, they've been getting into fights that they can't win, or Kevin Magnussen has got into a clonk with a driver early on in races in previous Grand Prix. So just talking with Ao Komatsu, his chief engineer on the right-hand side here, just thinking about what they can do tomorrow. Rather today. Tomorrow he'll be having a rest day. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting whether Lewis Hamilton gets involved with Kevin Magnussen, whether he can get him off the start, or whether the Haas driver will be able to go in. They've had good pace. They've had good... oh, little yawn from Kev. You right? Wakey, wakey, Kev? It's okay, good. They've had good straight line speed, and this is a very, very power-dependent circuit in Austria. So many straights, long straights, not too many corners, and it's something that they can take advantage of in their with their Ferrari power unit. So yeah, we'll see what happens here. Just looking a bit further down the grid towards Mick Schumacher, a little bit angry about what he felt was the team hanging him out to dry yesterday in the sprint race. Kind of kicked back from the team's point of view. They said, look, we just did what the best for us was. And actually, it might look like the driver behind is quicker if they're caught in the DRS of the drag reduction system of the car in front of them. It doesn't necessarily mean that the car behind is quicker. It just looks that way. And if they were to swap the positions, then it might just be that the car in front is just as quick. I also noticed, we'll see if we can find the head of Porsche. Wolfgang Porsche was on the grid or around the paddock a little bit early on. So are we going to get some kind of announcement from Porsche that they're coming back into Formula One with Red Bull? So I'll just wait another second, see if we can ask Kevin Magnussen a quick question, and we can... Kev? He's just finishing up with his engineer.
I promise you he's not eating a banana, by the way, everyone.
Also, further up the grid, it's going to be interesting how Sergio Perez can move forward as well. Red Bull need him in this fight, because really Ferrari's best opportunity of kind of trapping the Red Bull of Max Verstappen is to put one driver on a two-stop, maybe behind him, Sergio of Carlos Sainz. Hi, Kev. You're right. That was I was filling for Britain then. You wouldn't believe it. Anyway, how are you looking before the race? You think you've got the ultimate pace that you showed you could stay in front of a Mercedes yesterday?
No, I mean, the Mercedes are much faster than us, so I don't think they're really our focus. It's more Ocon and the guys behind.
Okay. How did the track feel? What do you think? Do you prefer an attacking two-stop or a bit of a conservative one-stop?
I think I prefer to attack. It's always more fun, but you got to go with the best one, and you only really find out once the race starts what's going to be the best. So we'll see.
Best of luck. We get some more points for him. So yeah, Natalie, we'll see what else we can find here, and back to you for the time being.
Ted Kravitz there on Sky Sports F1. If you're wondering where Martin Brundle is, it's too big of a walk to the commentary box, to this grid as well, because the commentary box here is quite high up in the new grandstand. So that's why Martin Brundle isn't doing the grid walk. And I thought he might not, because he was driving his old Benetton 192 as well earlier on in the show. So it explains why he's not there, and he's gone straight to the commentary box. Probably too much to get changed and get back out there as well with it all going on. Now, Josh got some news for us, because he's got a document on the screen as well. And Buffalo asked, what time is the race? You've got around about 24 minutes time until the lights go out as well, and we'll be here for the watch-along commentary throughout as well. We'll have all the timing screens in operation as well, so don't worry about all that. That timing screen will come back on, and with me, Josh, and Ian Burch, and Megan Burch with us as well. But I think Rachel's got Fernando Alonso.
It depends what we call fun, but yeah, I mean, it's going to be a lot of traffic. It depends if we have a DRS train of cars. That will be very frustrating, because you cannot overtake. If we are all separated by 2 or 3 seconds, maybe there is an opportunity, but it's going to be a difficult race.
Strategy-wise, though, are there some options for you? Is it worth you even starting on the start and trying to make your way through a few places then, or?
There is, I mean, not much. So you go the conventional medium hard, or you go hard medium on the opposite, but we will not be the only ones, I guess. I think the only thing that can change something is the weather. So let's see if there is a lucky cloud coming.
Thanks for stopping.
Okay, I don't know if we're going to have another interview or how long it will be. Yeah, with Lando Norris now.
P10 today. I know it's been a tricky weekend, but other points available today?
For sure. Not going to be easy to achieve, but I think we have slightly better pace than the Hasses. So I think they're our first target, and even though Fernando's at the back, we know he can be a good fighter and coming through. So our double points finish is definitely what we're looking for today.
All right, enjoy your energy bar. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was a granola bar as Alexander Albon yesterday versus Alexander Albon and Lando Norris. Norris ended up going off the track during the sprint as well, as we just wait for more information. So let's talk you through here, because I know a lot of people here are new. So while we're here, let's talk you through the screens. This is the screen we'll have on mainly throughout the race as well. Josh Plays will be where the track stats are as well. You can see the timing tower and the driver tracker. I'll be joined in the main commentary box by Ian Burch and Megan Burch. We have our YouTube chat channel as well in operation. So I want to say hello to I Fossil, who says, hello guys, all the best to you this weekend. All the best to you as well. I cannot believe Mick really thinks he is faster than K-Mag after scoring his first points as well. The folly of youth, and have a great day. I'm off to have breakfast. Hopefully it was a nice breakfast for you, right, Fossil, as well. And as we said, Buffalo as well with 2 Fs, 1 L. Said as well, greetings from Cape Town. What time is the start? Well, an update for you running. You've got 22 minutes to start. Christian Horner. Sorry, everybody. He's with Sky and he's in an interview.
I was turning that way looking for Christian, and there you are. How are you, Christian, and how are you feeling about this race?
Yeah, look, I think it's going to be a really tight race with the Ferraris today. We could see yesterday there was nothing in it pace-wise. Max was able to break that DRS early on, but hopefully we've got Checo in the fight as well today, and he needs to clear George quickly and get again into the 2 Ferraris ahead.
And you're confident he can do that?
Yeah, very confident. I think that he had a great race yesterday, and he made a lot of progress. Obviously 8 places from where he started, so that adds another dynamic for us in the race.
So how do you approach the race today with Sergio being very close in the championship to Charles today? Do you push the team game, or do you push more of a strategic game to make sure that Checo is safe in the championship?
It's a combination of both. You've got to do the best for the team, and that means getting both cars ahead of the Ferraris today, and that's our target. It's still, we're barely at the halfway stage of the championship. Huge amount of distance still to go. So it's all about working as a team and doing the best we can collectively to get both our cars ahead of the Ferraris today.
And it's one thing with the strategy, something you're going to have to play a really clever car to try and draw the Ferraris into a pit stop, maybe using Perez for that.
Well, look, I think we want to run our fastest races, but I think we believe we've got a quick race car here. You can overtake at this circuit if you're within that probably 0.6 of a second mark. So we want to do our fastest race and give the drivers the best chance.
And then give those fans something to really shout about, although they've been doing a lot of that already this weekend. Just tell us what the atmosphere's like for you coming to a home race here in front of hundreds of thousands of fans.
Well, I think it's a record crowd for Austria this weekend. I mean, the support is just phenomenal. And, for the team, and obviously a lot of Dutchies here as well for Max. So it's great wherever we go in Formula One at the moment, whether it was Silverstone last weekend, a record crowd there, a record crowd here, and I think that'll continue through the year.
I'm just a little bit worried about those flares, though. Did they not impede the visibility a little bit when they blow across the track?
It's not great because you see them going off on the formation lap and on the first lap. So, it depends which way the wind's going, but it gives you a very good indication what the wind is doing as well.
Good point. Glass half full. I like it. Thanks very much, Christian. All the very best today. Let's head back to Ted.
Ted.
Yeah, thank you very much, Natalie. Down at Williams. Hello, found Dax Shepard and Kristen Bell. Hello, everybody.
We listen to you every weekend. We know the voice very well. Yes.
I've got to say, it's a pleasure meeting you. This is like the set of, you probably record The Good Place like all on CGI, but this is might as well be the set.
It also feels a little bit like the race is in Arendelle from Frozen, because the exterior
it's a mashup of all your projects.
Yeah.
I've never thought of it like Arendelle, actually. Yeah, but you might be right. And what do you think is the sort of energy of it? I mean, you do your very successful podcast, don't you? Looking kind of, human factors, performance, almost the schmuckiness of human beings, if I like to say.
Sure, that's good. I like that. Yeah. The British version.
The British version, of course. But you see these guys, they're about to go off on, do battle out there. There's a lot of energy down here.
This track is just so awesome, especially like I've been watching it on TV for years. To stand here and to see the elevation, it's just so crazy. This track, it's in. If there were a racetrack in Eden, this would be it. This would be the track.
Thanks, Christian.
So much good passing, such a fun track to watch. I mean, just the sprint yesterday was insane. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Nice checkered flag top, by the way.
Thank you. I try to bring the fashion. Yeah.
Always.
Thanks, guys.
Absolutely fantastic. Christian Bell as well out there as well. And I'm glad they mentioned, Josh, about The Good Place. I don't know if you've seen The Good Place, but I love The Good Place as well. And especially as it's got quite a lot of fantastic actors in it as well. And of course, Ted Danson. Who doesn't love Ted Danson as well? I remember him mainly as Sam Malone from Cheers, but there we go. SHT says, what about the weather conditions out there? It's dry at the moment. Air temperatures at 20 degrees, track temperatures at 29 degrees as well, and it is rising, which is good news. Josh, you've got some information on your screen. We've got a couple of minutes for the national anthem. What do you want about? What do you want to talk about?
So we were talking about the Sergio Perez brakes locking up, and here is all of Red Bull's changes from in park from a condition. So for everyone on USRN, it's an internal combustion engine previously used, a turbocharger previously used, an MGU-H previously used, and an MGU-K previously used, and a right-hand side internal combustion engine water cooler, a central water cooler, or coiling heat header tank.
Okay, gotta go because it's time then for the Austrian national anthem as well to get off as the parachuters come in as well with the Red Bull logo on the Austrian flag. It's time then for the Austrian national anthem here live from the track. And last year, we had a rock anthem as well with metal guitars. So let's see what it's going to be like today.
And we'll hopefully hear a great rendition very shortly of their national anthem. The piano is on the track.
So it's a piano national anthem this year.
Children as well, waving flags, as are the fans in the crowd.
Okay.
Let's turn our attention to it now.
The national anthem of Austria is now. What a wonderful rendition of the national anthem there as well as we get ready. Drivers are going to be leaving.
Performance that was appreciated by all. Little surprise for a country that has produced some of the greatest composers and classical pianists of all time. So a lovely way to set us up for the Grand Prix, the calm before the storm, if you will. And we're now joined by a smiling Lando Norris.
Thought it might be Lando first.
Lando, how are you feeling?
How am I feeling? I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. A decent race yesterday, but a longer one with more opportunities today. So I'm not expecting a huge amount. I'm not really expecting like what I've had here the past few years, but to get into the points, to just go forward a few positions is our target.
Yeah, what about the Alpine and the Hasses? Is that really who you're sort of looking at to battle with?
I mean, they are our main competition. Haas are a little bit more up and down, you know, and one race they struggle more, but here they've been very good so far this weekend. So not going to be easy to beat. They still have a lot of pace. races and good drivers. So not expecting an easy battle today, but yeah, we want a double points finish, so we'll be pushing.
Thanks, Lando. All the very best today. I'll take that for you. And let's head down to Lewis's car where there's some work going on. Ted, what have you got?
Yeah, thank you very much, Natalie. It looks like a brake issue, so they've got the brake tins off. So what have we got? This is such late notice work to be doing brake repairs on the grid. They've just taken all these tins, so these are what they call the cake tins. It's an aerodynamic shroud, a heat shroud that keeps all the heat in. So that's off. That takes a minute or two to get back on. There's all this work to the brakes. They're just putting all the cooling there. You can see the brake ducts. You see the brake disc in the middle with all of those holes, 1,400 holes to keep the brakes cool. And brakes are critical around here, keeping them cool especially so. So Lewis clearly on those laps to the grid that we said was like a little test has come back and said, guys, I've got a problem with the brakes. So they've had all this, they've been checking them over, they've just finished bleeding the brakes, which is actually taking all of the hydraulic brake fluid, or the brake fluid I should say, taking it out, charging it up again, filling it up again, pressurizing that system, making sure that when Lewis hits the brake pedal, he has that instant slowing down feeling that he needs, that bite from the brakes that he needs. And he's a driver that relies on the brakes for so much of his speed, and that's why they need to get this repair absolutely right. As the seconds tick down, there's still so much work, Natalie. Let's look into the eyes of Lewis Hamilton himself. He can't stop looking at the brakes, can he? I think he knows the job will be finished.
Yeah.
I anticipate the job will be finished, but this is the last thing he wants as he, he says a little meet and greet in the middle of it, such is the life of a racing driver. He knows his car might be broken, but he's got to do all the hellos to all the important people on the grid. I'll keep on top of it, Nats, to let you know how it goes.
Thank you, Ted, as well. So, problems for Lewis Hamilton, it looks like already. Hopefully you're going to stay with us here on YouTube and find out what all those problems are. The wings are going on, Josh, so I would say it looks like he's going to be okay.
I think so.
Fingers crossed.
I completely forgot then that I've moved my sound mixer to the other side of the table.
The amount of times I've done that, it's absolutely fine. Apologies, a little breakup we've had on USRN as well, on the radio. A little bit of a connection fault keeps bringing us in. We are live on YouTube if you want to make your way over there. Yeah, we are live on YouTube, by the way, onto Joshua Burch, motorsport journalist. If you want to make your way over there, if we're having problems on USRN, the full thing will be available after the broadcast. But here on YouTube, we're having a great one. Brad says rain is 45 minutes away. That is big. And you can see, Josh, at the top of the hill, just behind Lewis Hamilton, the rain clouds that are actually forming. This is going to be a very tense and very dramatic Grand Prix. You can just feel it bubbling away.
And
other side.
You really, really can. It will be interesting. Hopefully, halfway through the race, we will have some spots of rain. And
sorry, let's hear from Sergio Perez now with Rachel.
You put in a fantastic performance yesterday to get yourself up to this position today. How important is it how quickly you get up to catch up with Max and play a team game today?
Yeah, that's important. Try to get some positions at the start that will be crucial in our race so that we can go with the lead group early on and be in the fight.
You've definitely got a straight line speed advantage around here. How crucial is that going to be today, and how close do you think those Ferraris are?
They're very, very close. They were a bit faster yesterday, so we'll see today in a longer race, but we certainly expect them to be there.
And you're fighting for this championship as well, aren't you? Can you get the win today, do you think?
That will be my target.
All right, thanks, Jack.
Thank you.
Thanks, Checo, as well. Josh, you've got something on about, but Lewis got Ted.
Well, breathe easy, everybody. Breathe easy, Lewis Hamilton and the mechanics. They finished that repair, and just caught Toto Wolff talking to his engineer. He sort of turned up, having been at the front of the grid and seen that everything was okay. So, did you hear on the radio? Did Lewis say that the brake pedal felt a little bit long?
Yeah, a bit of a softer brake pedal, so we bleeded it.
Good, excellent. Well, glad it's all done, and he's ready to go. With what have we got now, Natalie? 9 minutes to go. So.
And we're just being given news from the Little Owl that Richard Verschoor has been disqualified from the Formula 2 race we had earlier on. So Johan Jaruvela has taken victory in the F2 feature race if you joined us earlier on today. Now, Josh Plays, what have you got for us on your screen? Is that a weather radar or is that a flight tracker? I can't quite tell.
It is a flight radar, and as you just saw, if you're watching TV pictures, these are the 2 planes that just flew over.
Oh, wow. So they're the planes that just flew over the top, dropping out the parachutes. That is amazing. So I do love technology. Yeah. I really love technology. It's amazing what we can do here as well. We are moments away from the start, so Ian Burch and Megan Burch are going to join me in the commentary box shortly as well. We'll give you all the fanfare of the build-up to the race as well. And hopefully it is going to be another dramatic one for us. The British Grand Prix 1 week ago was absolute box office dynamite. Here at the Red Bull Ring, the sprint race yesterday has given us a little taste. Ferrari are free to race. Is that going to cause any other problems? We've got Verstappen straight out the front as well. How long can he hold at the front? He's won 4 times here previously. Can he do it again? GKP Tech says, is it a wet race? It's dry at the moment, but there is rain in the air. So it could rain halfway through the race. It could not. It's going to be a bit tricky one to see what the situation is going to be. Do keep your fingers crossed, though, for a little bit of sprinkling of water. It really does make the event exciting as well. Josh, wild prediction. Who's going to win this race?
Wild?
Yeah, go on. Wild prediction. No one was like saying, oh, Verstappen, Leclerc. If it rains, who are you personally betting is going to win this race?
George Russell.
Oh, brave bet. I like that bet. I will go with Lewis Hamilton on the other side of that then. I think Lewis could do it. But as a real outside shot, I'd go Esteban Ocon. Starts 6th at the moment. GKP Tech has had Latifi. That'll be a miracle. Latifi's down in 17th position, on the board as well. We're almost set then for the 2022 Austrian Grand Prix. Down in the pit lane at Race Control and in the Discord as well is Josh Plays. I'm Joshua Burch. Alongside me in the comments box will be Ian Burch and Megan Burch as well. But don't let the family name fool you as well. There's a variety of different opinions that are going to make their way over this broadcast. Hello to Humperdinck as well, who says Russell is a great long shot pick. So Josh, you're on a roll there if he does rain. Here's Megan Burch now actually walking into the commentary box right on time. Good afternoon. And good afternoon to all our listeners, over 1,000 at the moment, watching on as well. And just quickly before the lights out, wild outside pick. Who's going to win this race?
What, so unexpected?
Yes, completely unexpected.
Why did Perez come to mind?
I don't know. You're the one picking it.
Either Perez or Russell.
Perez or Russell, that's a brave shot. That's a good shot, actually. Okay, so we're in Austria. We're in the Red Bull Ring. It's time to get this action underway. Tension is beginning to pound as well. Can you tell we're filling for time as well? As we've seen some crazy starts over the past year as well. We've seen some crazy action. Austria always delivers here as well on the board.
Do you notice how we used to have water in the box? Now we have both reddish drinks.
Red drinks. Yeah, I've got a Vimto water. You have got a cranberry water.
Yes.
I presume so, yeah. Ian Burch
still got water in there.
Ian Burch probably bringing a coffee, to be fair, as well. As we get ready, the start procedure is about to get underway. The 2022 Austrian Grand Prix is underway at the Red Bull Ring. The V6 Symphony Orchestra is making the hills alive with the sound of Formula One racing. It's the halfway stage of the 2022 season. The Red Bull Ring in Austria, once again, is the battleground for short track racing in Formula One. It is the home of Red Bull, and it's a Red Bull on pole position. Max Verstappen is going for his 4th victory at this circuit as well, and half of Holland have turned up. Around this 4.318 kilometre circuit, 3 DRS zones as well. Uphill, it's about 63.5 metre elevation change. Top speed over 210 miles an hour. Track width is only around about 15 metres. It's short, it's fast, it's abrasive, and we love it nonetheless. In action zones just last year, Russell versus Stroll up the inside. Russell was in a Williams at Remus as well, sent up the inside of Lance Stroll with a tremendous move. How about further down at Sochlis Gold, turn 4? Leclerc versus Perez was an outside manoeuvre early on in the Grand Prix. Perez retook it on the inside. Leclerc said, "Not today, Sonny." Got the switch back on the inside, and by the time they hit Ranch, they got through. And down on the Burch curve as well last year, Lewis Hamilton was overtaken by a brilliant, breathtaking move of Lando Norris, slipping up the inside. But this weekend in the Formula 3, we've seen that the outside of the track is the correct procedure to go for. Pirelli have brought their softest tyre compounds to this track. It's the red C5 soft tyre, the yellow C4 medium tyre, and the hard C3 tyre as well in white. Tyres available as well if it's wet, green intermediate, blue wet. Let's take a look at how they line up then on the grid from back to front. Starting from the pit lane is Valtteri Bottas. Fernando Alonso has a grid penalty as well after a gearbox and electronics failure stalled him in the sprint race yesterday. The ninth row of the grid sees Sebastian Vettel alongside Nicholas Latifi in 18th and 17th. Row number 8 sees Yuki Tsunoda alongside Alexander Albon, disappointing for what he's had previously. He's looking to improve. Row 7 sees Pierre Gasly alongside Zhou Guanyu as well. Zhou returning after his horrible crash at Silverstone a week ago. The 6th row of the grid sees Lance Stroll starting 12th and Danny Ricciardo starting 11th, and then we hit the top 5. Lando Norris starts in 10th, Mick Schumacher starts in 9th, just missed out on a point yesterday in the sprint race to the guy who starts 8th on the 4th row, Lewis Hamilton. Kevin Magnussen alongside him as well, his second best race result here in the Red Bull Ring. The 3rd row of the grid, Esteban Ocon starts 6th as well alongside Sergio Perez in 5th. Then we hit the normal ones. George Russell, best ever qualifying here in the Red Bull Ring, starts 4th alongside Carlos Sainz on row 2. The 1st row of the grid though sees the 2 championship protagonists, Charles Leclerc on pole, Max Verstappen alongside him in pole position. We are getting ready for an interesting run down towards turn number 1. And for the first time this season, that actually went pretty much okay. Good afternoon to Megan Burch, Ian Burch and Josh Blaze, who's already heard in the pit lane as well. We're all set, Megan, for a great race here today.
We are, and I just realised I'm dressed in the colours of the flag, faux reverse. I should have worn a white shirt and a
red top. Yeah, it should be. Ian Burch as well. Ferrari have not won here since 2003, and Michael Schumacher. Charles Leclerc trying to beat that today, but he's going to have to beat his teammate Carlos Sainz. I can hear you. Oh, sorry. Sorry, my fault there. Let's press that button. Try again.
Try again.
There we go. Your mic's now on. Go on.
What?
Ferrari, front row of the grid. Haven't won it since 2003. Leclerc's going to have to beat his teammate Carlos Sainz.
Well, I agree with that, but also this is the home of the Orange Army. You should have been wearing orange. Everyone else is. Whoever's got the franchise for those T-shirts, there's one particular T-shirt that must have sold about 80,000.
I know the one you're on about. It's just literally the Red Bull ring with the orange T-shirt on it with a green logo.
Something orange.
You
other
do?
than the thing that I stole from Mum.
I think that's about it then. We've got an orange cable just behind us. I can see the commentary box, but orange cars, I suppose.
We had to talk at Silverstone about the racist remarks of a certain Brazilian guy.
Yes, and now we're going to have to talk about orange.
Now, unfortunately, not aimed at Ariana or Naomi, but people actually in the grandstands have had racist comments from a certain section of the crowd. Well, all I can say is if that was football, we would have security cameras on them and be pulling them out one by one as you see, as you can identify who's doing it, because it won't be everybody that's in that section. Look at that. Look at the orange flares.
Yeah. All the way around the formation up as well. And Megan Burch, take us through the predicted pit stop strategy. Look at that, the orange flares going off, and that's going to be interesting on lap 1.
I feel like that's going to cause a yellow at some point.
Could do. Look at that. It's literally
it looks like
fires all the way around.
Yeah,
last year,
it looks like fire.
Last year, the wind was blowing across the circuit, and it was quite hard to see at certain corners, wasn't it?
Looks like London, 1666.
Australia now says it's either windy or there's a fan on. There's a fan on because it's getting hot. The door to the back of the box
there
open.
Is a fan. I was wondering if the people could hear
Talking
that.
of Australia
they can see the
now,
flags.
I was going to say.
Talking of Australia, Gwen Wynn's there and Australia Now's there, but where's Beth?
Beth is returning shortly as well.
Sleeping.
The Little Owl says, I fully condemn all forms of discrimination and abuse going on in the crowd. You should be ashamed if you're in that section. It's that section there where it's just orange at the moment.
Luckily, they just blurred themselves out.
They're just at the back of the grid then, coming through the Verch curve, so they're about to start lining up. Megan, talk us through the pit stop strategy today. What does it all look like?
Right, a one-stop starting on mediums. You'll be going till laps 24 to 32 and going on to the hard compounds then. If you're starting on the hards and a one-stop, you'll be going till lap 38 to 45 on the mediums. Preferably, I'd rather be on hards.
Weren't the C3 hards the C3 softs or mediums at Silverstone?
Yeah, they were the soft tyres last time out, so they've got some comparisons there.
There's a confusing way to do your tyres.
There is a long way. Josh Plays, just quickly to you, before the start procedure, are you looking forward to today's race? 71 laps ahead of us. The sprint was fun. Today is going to be even better.
Yes, it is, and hopefully you just heard the Black Eagles. I switched to my phone.
We did, we heard it. I was wondering what that was, but we heard it.
On the grid. It's going to be a good race, I think, today.
Thanks, Josh. We'll be back with you in lap 1 as well as we cut to the main screen. The cars coming up then onto the grid. If you're wondering why we did this, because the driver checking never goes well, but Fernando Alonso...
Go faster.
Can he get it back in?
He's got it back.
Good. He's going very slow and it looked like he stopped at the exit of Rint and now he's going to come out last in the field.
Question. Do the fans actually want to see the race? Because if they're going to keep letting off those smoke things...
That's going to be the question. Right. Valtteri Bottas starting from the pit lane then. He's about to get going. Right, cross your fingers that we are going to have a safe start and we actually get up towards turn 3. Fernando Alonso, 19th on the grid, lines up. And now it's all eyes to the red lights. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights in Austria. Action now in Spielberg. And it's a good start from Charles Leclerc and from George Russell. Max Verstappen defends up towards turn 1. Russell looks to the inside and gets ahead of Carlos Sainz. Lando Norris locking up and off the track goes Carlos Sainz as well. George Russell is still ahead of him. But it's the Red Bull of Max Verstappen who leads up towards turn number 3 at Remus. And already it looks like Lewis Hamilton is in a bit of a battle with Esteban Ocon. Schumacher trying to go around the outside of him. Magnussen is battling with Ocon as well. Magnussen goes wide. Hamilton and Schumacher side by side as now Sergio Perez is battling with George Russell and Russell's dropped down the order. Perez trying to go around the outside and Sainz gold. Not working. A sea of orange smoke greets them as they head downhill and Russell's hit Perez into the gravel. Russell has hit Perez into the gravel trap down at turn 1 and it's happened immediately. Unbelievable start.
Is it not the case that that was always going to happen? Those two do not give in at any stage. And when I saw them side by side there, I was just sat here waiting for it to happen.
2 things. 1, can't believe...
Vettel's have got damage. Vettel's got damage as we complete the opening lap.
Not
There
surprising.
was something
I saw,
at the back.
Yeah, at the
But-
back there was a little bit of... It was basically like multiple pairings.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it.
Contact turn 1.
More contact turn 1, we're being told. Okay, thanks, Josh.
Both of my picks hit each other, and 2, smoke definitely played a part in that.
Start procedure infringement between Sonoda and Albon has been noted. If you're just joining us as well, we've had a crash between George Russell and Sergio Perez, and Perez has spun, and he's 34 seconds back from Bottas.
Well, it was similar to yesterday's. It was a wheel touched and sent Perez off. Like yesterday, it was Lewis.
Ted.
Albon, I
Very
think.
badly. I think I see a set of soft tyres there, Crofty.
No, hard tyres.
Okay, must have been the red stripe of the Red Bull overalls there. But yeah, so that would make sense. Didn't think we were going to see the soft tyre today. Hard tyre, go as long as you can into the race. But that Red Bull is going to be lacking a lot of downforce after that clash.
Thanks, Ted. The orange smoke is almost invisible.
banned.
Yeah, they are banned. So how they've got into the circuit, I don't know. But then again, the Dutch supporters seem to be able to do whatever they like at the moment as well.
Well,
so
how
it's a bit ridiculous.
how did you get your flags and things into Wembley?
They were rolled up, weren't they?
Yeah.
But like smoke bombs are dangerous because if you can get smoke bombs in, you can get other things. But look at this, it still hasn't cleared, and there's rain coming as well.
I think it definitely played a part in that bust up between Perez and Russell.
Yeah. SHT says drama already begun as well. That's fully Russell to blame there as well. Hello, Adam says enjoy the Australian Grand Prix, but he's picking Max Verstappen to win. I've picked Lewis Hamilton if it rains, but if it dry, it'll be Verstappen.
I do believe that flag is behind me.
What flag?
Your flag from Wembley when you was about 12.
This one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's the one behind me. As well as Lewis Hamilton having to go defensive against Mick Schumacher. And Megan, Mick Schumacher, who's looking more and more like Michael since he scored his points. He's angry in the press conferences. He's much more much more violent on the track.
To be honest, you've got to have controlled anger to be a good driver.
That's Vettel complaining about the front wing. Might not be working.
You can't just take everything that's thrown at you. Not even Lewis, who is possibly the calmest man on the grid. Not even he takes everything that's thrown at him. And Mick has done, hasn't he, over the 2 years he's been in, or 2.5 years.
I think Fat Mick is very, very quickly turning into his father.
Let's take a look at the start then. I've kept
Great
my eye on...
positioning yesterday, though.
So this is Lando Norris and Daniel Ricciardo. Ricciardo goes in, locks up. Lando comes through. Sebastian, I think, does he touch the back of Lando?
He's further down.
I'm looking. I can see where Sebastian is. I've got my eyes on him side by side.
I think he did touch Lando a little bit.
And Russell made a great start, but it was all about Sergio Perez, who was putting the car everywhere. Vettel's got contact. Has he hit one of the McLarens? Not too sure. He's clean there. Keep your eyes on the... There it is. Contact with Lando.
The Ferrari still had... well, I was watching Sainz and George, and he was okay until he got to the straight, and then the Ferrari just pulled away from him.
That wasn't George's fault. He had nowhere to go.
Well, to be fair, Lewis Hamilton did exactly the same thing to Alexander Albon there in 2020, and Hamilton got the penalty.
And they did it this morning in the F3 race.
Understood.
To be fair, George couldn't. Perez went round the outside. You don't go around the outside there. I don't think that's.
He was pushing him into the barrier.
You saw it clear now? I gave him enough room.
No, Checo!
Oh, I gave him enough room.
I'm sorry.
No, you didn't.
I'm sorry, Checo. It's not you positioned to give him room. You've gone around the outside. Russell was further ahead. In my book, Albon was more far ahead than Hamilton was back in 2020. In that opinion, it's Perez's fault.
It's called squeezing, and it's what happened yesterday in the sprint race.
Schumacher's passed Hamilton. Sorry, Schumacher's passed Hamilton. We just saw that move on the inside of turn 3. Schumacher's 7th. Back to you.
He releases.
Yeah, we saw that yesterday, didn't we? The squeezing by Verstappen on Leclerc.
Yeah.
And it's part of the aggression, the allowed aggression that is in. This is not a game for it with the Queensbury rules. It's what they can generally. The drivers get together and decide what's okay and how far to go and how far not to go. And that's always been the case, that you can squeeze people. What happened there, though, Checo actually, he went for a move, and it was the wrong move. Everybody else, the car in front, the 2 cars behind, were all taking the same line as George. So George didn't do anything wrong. You can't penalise George for taking the same line as the car in front and the 2 cars behind.
There is a precedent there with Hamilton, as Hamilton's also had his lap time deleted for track limits down at turn 1 on lap 4. Josh, what did you make of that start? On the side.
Dramatic.
Did you forget where your bus mixer was again?
Yes.
Yes, I keep doing that. Go on. Very dramatic, wasn't it? And everyone's already saying on the YouTube chat, drama throughout.
Yeah, we've had a lap 1, turn 1, we had both of the McLarens, Norris and Ricciardo, which quite happily in 9th and 10th with Magnussen and Schumacher. Haas are back.
Yeah, Schumacher 7th, Magnussen 6th, and Hamilton in 8th. It's the sprint race all over again, Megan.
It really is. Though the difference is Schumacher's catching Magnussen.
He isn't all. He's only 3/10 behind him at the moment, so they are catching each other once again.
I think he wants a podium.
I think Mick does now, doesn't he? But look at Lewis, he's right behind him. Magnussen's got caught up, though. He's stuck behind Esteban Ocon, who's stuck behind a damaged front wing of George Russell.
Well, the rear wing on Lewis's car is the new style, but on George's it isn't. And George's car was mended using parts of Lewis's car and vice versa.
Yeah.
Bits, they're a right mismatch of the two cars. Basically, the crashed car of Lewis was used as spare parts for the other one.
Because Lewis's car is a whole new chassis tub as well, so the bits that weren't damaged on Lewis were perfect for what happened with George in accident as well.
Especially like internal units and things like that. Luckily, they had gearboxes that they could put in to both of them because both of them wrecked the gearboxes that they had.
Lewis Hamilton.
That's the two Haas cars. Yeah, well, Haas are very much back, as Josh keeps saying. But look at this for the battle for the lead of the race. Max Verstappen on lap 8 of 71. He's exactly 6/10 away from Charles Leclerc. But Leclerc's got the DRS. He's going to try and go for a move on the inside line. Leclerc looks for a move at turn 3, shuts the door. But now Sergio Perez is about to go a lap down. He's now going to try and play team strategist to keep a position and let Max have DRS for as long as possible.
Isn't turn 3 the one where it's a 210-metre gradient?
Yes.
I don't think that Perez is the only one playing strategies since a lap ago, maybe 2 laps ago, the entire field, apart from Perez, was separated by 19-point-something seconds.
Yeah.
Now, apart from Perez, it's 44.
Big gap there as well as they come through as Vettel, the top 4 and Vettel are the only drivers, and Hamilton, who have stayed in the same positions throughout the grid. Verstappen, Leclerc, Sainz, Russell started 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Hamilton started 8th, and Vettel started 18th.
I will say there is something called the M25 wave. Right, it's a phenomenon that about 13, 14 years ago, there was a helicopter
Hang on. Leclerc's got the DRS. He's going to make the move into turn 3 again. He gets very close to the back of Max, but no luck there. Back to you.
Yeah, it was watching the traffic on the M25 when it noticed a camper van brake suddenly because a Fox ran out. And what they did was they then went backwards around the M25, watching cars, brake because of the one in front of them has braked.
No, first track limits warning.
Until 7 miles later, the whole place was at a stop. And the only reason was because that camper van things. And that's why you get the situation where 2 laps before they were 19 seconds apart, and now they're 14 seconds. It's because the others brake, and they see the other one brake, and that's it.
We've got a battle brewing here for the lead again as Charles Leclerc takes the DRS opportunity. He's got 0.5 now down the start-finish straight. Lap 10 of 71 in this Grand Prix. And Leclerc visibly closing down on Max Verstappen as they come out towards turn number 1. Now, you heard from Megan that Lando Norris has got his first track limits warning. I'm sure Josh is keeping across of them as well at race control to update us if there's any more. Lewis has already got a couple as Leclerc goes for the move at turn number 1.
Perez radio.
No, it's gone off. Here comes Leclerc, side by side with Verstappen. It didn't work out. Form really know when to play their radios. It cut off. But Leclerc tried to go for the move, and he's going for it again.
He's got him.
Max blocks the inside line, and Sotra's gone. Leclerc locks up. It didn't work out. Max stays ahead of Leclerc. Great racing between the two of them.
If I were them, I'd wait until the next straight after that. Then and then go round the inside, not the outside.
I love the way that Max closed him off there. Because he got him on speed.
I cannot hold as long. Understood, Max.
Well, Verstappen's lost his teammate. He's lost Perez.
5-second time penalty for Russell causing a collision, which should not be allowed.
Well, they'll serve that in the pit lane.
It's the old anti-Mercedes business, isn't it?
He'll serve that in the pit lane. The little owl says racing incident. I agree. He'll serve that in the pit lane there when he's first stopped. Meantime, the battle is on.
What are these stewards thinking about? The guy in front was taking the same line as George. The 2 guys behind took the same line. So why did George get a penalty?
Leclerc's going for the move again, this time up towards turn number 3, looks to the inside line. Max is a bit too far back. Leclerc locks up on the left-hand side tyre as well. And now they're falling back into the clutches of Carlos Sainz as they head down the hill towards Sochler's Gold as well. About 40-metre drop in elevation change. All of a sudden, you whack the rest of the 22 metres into the braking zone, flick the car into the right as well. About 4th gear, control the slide, don't go in the gravel, and pretty much both of them keeping up. Ted.
Balance, having Max not use his tyres up too much with getting the stint length later on. But anyway, maybe they think that Leclerc is using out his tyres now and he'll pay for that later. Mercedes are ready for a pit stop. I think they might be, well, it could be either
the Ferrari
George, who's going to take his penalty now, maybe go onto the hard tyre, or Lewis, who's been bemoaning his lack of straight line speed, especially against the Haas of Mick Schumacher. Here we go, it's the hard tyres, just seeing who it is.
Russell. No, it's Hamilton.
Well, they are coming out for a pit stop.
Yeah, well, keep an eye out who it is. Right now, we're not being told of anyone diving into the pit lane, and we're not seeing on our timing monitors. It's George Russell. Russell's into the pit lane. Ocon goes to fourth. Here comes Charles Leclerc once again in the Ferrari, running uphill. He's much closer than ever before. He's running up a hill. He's going to look to the inside. He's going to try and pass Max Verstappen. It hasn't worked out that time as well.
The Ferrari is much tighter in the corners than the Red Bull, and that's unusual. It's usually the other way round.
Again, faster, aggressive racing. He's got the second DRS as well as he heads down towards Sochler's Cone. Looks to the inside line, does Charles Leclerc. He forces Max Verstappen wide, and he takes the lead of the Austrian Grand Prix down at Sochler's Gold.
Nice move
Charles Leclerc leads. Brilliant.
Russell, 19.2 second stop.
That was a 19, well, count the 5 seconds. That was a longer stop. Presumably then they changed the
Get
front
it out
wing.
of the way.
Yeah, and they changed the
Hope
front
for
wing.
a safety car.
Yeah, get out of the way.
It's going to happen.
But I believe they have changed the front wing as well on Russell's car. But either way, Perez is now a lap down in this race, and Russell's down in 19th. This is how he did it, Megan. For Leclerc at the inside.
That was very smooth going there, just going. It's a successful move compared to earlier of his teammate.
You know, the braking and
Verstappen's
the
teammate.
oversteer. And
they did change the wing on Russell.
The oversteer is a lot
Probably
less
wise.
in that Ferrari than it is in the today's Red Bull. It's usually the other way round.
Josh, what tyres has Russell gone back out on? I can't see. Because we've got wingmen in the way.
Russell is on
They're white.
Hard. Is it brand new hards or is it used hards?
Russell's still in fourth on my screen. That
Okay,
makes
well,
sense.
we'll get there.
It was white ones, so that's the
hard
hards.
tyres. Second warning for track limits for Charles Leclerc. One more, and they'll get the black and white flag.
When was the first? And what?
Ricardo, Gasly, Latifi in the pit lane, according to my monitor.
Answer me this question.
Red Bull?
Answer me this question, right? The turning and grip of the Ferrari is better than the
Verstappen radio.
Box. Verstappen pits. So Verstappen is going on the alternate strategy then. He's going to try and take it longer, Ted.
The rest of us feel, but clearly that's the first time, Crofty, that Max Verstappen has been overtaken on track and let it stick by Charles Leclerc.
Oh, problem rear left. Took a long time.
Not a particularly quick stop. I think these cooler conditions have changed the face of the balance of performance between Ferrari and Red Bull. Ferrari were not on Red Bull's pace yesterday. These cooler conditions have worked in Ferrari's favour as far as the tyres go.
And speaking of Ferrari, it's looking quite good for their engines at the moment, Megan.
Yeah, and I've just noticed that Haas are now in Magnussen 4th and Schumacher is 5th.
How does the Ferrari get a track limits when it's taking the corners better than the
Red Bull?
I don't
and the
know.
Red Bull doesn't get one?
Let's take a look at Max Verstappen, and the reason for the slow stop, it's front left. That was a bit too long as well, being plugged in. In fact, I didn't even see the nut go back on. But, oh, look, it's the sprint race part 2, because it's Lewis Hamilton stuck behind Magnussen and Schumacher. Schumacher's going a little wide there. Lewis is going to try and pass the German on the inside line of the Verch curve. Schumacher's, he's backed out. Hamilton goes through with a truly spectacular move against Mick Schumacher at the Verch curve.
Lando, stay out of this.
I think people should realise that the Haas on these type of circuits is really something. It's not against
Lando pits.
And second track limits warning for Carlos Sainz. One more to black and white flag. So it's all getting up. Continue.
Yeah, I just feel that people don't give enough, recognition to the Haas. We've seen it on a number of circuits. It just suits circuits like this.
Anyone else noticed how it's getting darker out there as well? So that rain that's coming in.
I was just about to write that.
The cloud is stratus, isn't it?
Here comes Lewis Hamilton to the inside of Kevin Magnussen. Sorry to cut across. Magnussen on the outside line. And Lewis Hamilton gets a Danish cookie. Schumacher locks up and nearly goes straight on at the gravel trap. And there's a bit of debris from Perez and Russell's accident that's found its way on the exit of the track there. I just noticed. Verstappen, first track limits warning.
That's what it is.
Oh, radio.
1 ping, track limits, turn 9.
That's the radio message. 1 ping for track limits warning.
Well, I'm glad that the VIR guys are listening.
Yeah, it's not bad, is it, at the moment?
It's like, oh,
It's got to be fair, hasn't it? You know, it's...
Haas, is that shooting Magnussen? Yeah, Magnussen pits. Magnussen dives in the pit lane. I thought I saw him taking the line. And here comes Max Verstappen to take Mick Schumacher on. It's Silverstone Part 2. This time Schumacher defending from Verstappen. And Verstappen can't pass him. What?
In the F2 race this morning...
Verstappen v Schumacher again.
In the F2 race this morning, we got a unique situation where the first 10 cars that came over the line, that wasn't the order because of the fact that 5 of the 8 had track limits, 5-second penalties.
And Verstappen has now passed Schumacher around the outside in towards turn number 3 as well, so brilliant move there as well. Comically enough, he went round the left-hand side. I'll just leave that there.
Max
We
passes
just lost a bit of time during the pit
Dutchie
stop.
passes the
We will
German
get
on
it
the
back.
left-hand side.
Everyone shifting to two-stop.
Two-stopper. It's a two-stopper race. We just heard two-stopper from Gasly.
Well, that makes my early predictions useless.
Did Vershaw keep the race
No,
win?
Vershaw's been disqualified for not being able to provide a fuel sample. Drew was one.
I thought he would.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was worried about that himself.
Let's go to the YouTube chat quickly as well because Gwenwyn says stewards across the formula is tight with track limits this weekend. Who will be our vestie of this race? I like that as it comes through. Coming out.
But Vesty did get a track limits warning just before the end of the F2 race this morning.
Schumacher picks.
Because I thought he was doing well as well. Not getting one.
Ocon 2.
5 seconds. Schumacher and Ocon into the pit lane then. So down to the mechanics do a super stop. And what is going on with Stroll? He's up into 5th, Megan?
I don't know. That's what's been confusing me the past 5 minutes.
Great stop from the Haas guys to put the hards on. 2.6 seconds for Ocon, 3.1 seconds for Schumacher. Can I ask Megan if she just moves her elbow a bit because you're blocking the fan? Thank you.
I think I carry some damage. I got loads of understeer.
Vettel says he's struggling.
Copy that, Sebastian. Copy that. We are checking.
Vettel said he's struggling with a lot of damage. Yuki Tsunoda is up into 6th position.
And Zhou is up into 7th.
Zhou 7th. Okay. Zhou started this race down in 13th position.
Making amends for last.
Yeah, but all right then. If that's the way he wants to take it, that's the way he wants to take it in this race.
Mick sent out a text this week.
Hamilton radio. Tyres are good.
Good to know.
Mick sent out a text this week, which was quite nice, really. It said about the fact that when Sebastian started, he had Michael to be his mentor.
Oh, Lewis Hamilton versus Max Verstappen at the Red Bull Ring once again as they come through as well.
And that Mick is lucky enough to have Sebastian.
Look at Verstappen pulling to the outside line and Lewis Hamilton into turn 3 as well. Hamilton takes him long and Hamilton can't let Verstappen through and doesn't let him through. Max going to have to try again. Downhill towards turn 4. Socha's gone. Verstappen's on the outside line. Lewis can't defend and Verstappen breezes through on the inside line and covers it off as well. Lewis going to try and get the cut back.
Black and white flag, Perez, track limits.
Is that what you're going to say?
Yes.
I thought you were. Just cut over. It works well. Thanks, Josh. Thanks, Megs. As they come through out there as well. We can't hear a word you're saying. As they come through. As write it down. We can't hear a word you're saying when the talkback's on. Anyway, Leclerc and Verstappen, 20 seconds between them at the moment. Leclerc leads, but he's only got 3 seconds. If I was Ferrari, I would box now and cover because that rain's coming in about 15 minutes if it's predicted. I know Josh is going to be keeping an eye on the weather forecast for us, but that rain is just, it's around the circuit. It's coming. And this is Hamilton blocking the inside with Verstappen having to go the outside line. It didn't work out at all there.
It's stratus towards the right-hand side of the circuit, and to the left, it's blue skies cumulus. So cumulus brings rain.
as they come through again here, as now this is the Alpine of Alonso chasing the Alfa Romeo of Zhou, who's chasing the Alfa Tauri of Tsunoda. So 3 in the moment coming through on the side. And I've never seen you so angry in the commentary box the way you just threw that post-it note down the side. Yeah, well, sorry about that. I'm sorry to cut across. Anyway, here comes Alonso, can't get through it. Now we're seeing the train for the battle for 6th position. I've never seen you like that before. Not since you
I had a line.
Not since you ripped the headset off. Oh, Alonso, my goodness
If
me.
you two don't
Big
stop
twitch.
fighting, I'll send you out the room. And me and Josh Plays will do this.
Alonso with a big twitch then on the car coming out of turn 4 as well. But look who's got the fastest lap of the race. Max Verstappen with a 109.895.
Flag. Next track limit is a penalty.
Copy.
Yes, wind has
quite
picked up.
undrivable. Very undrivable.
Perez saying the car is
Lap offset
undrivable.
from next in.
I wouldn't be surprised if Perez got some floor damage.
-5.
It wouldn't surprise me, though. What good is that track limits warning going to do anyway? He's already in last.
Well, one of the problems here is the fact that the white line isn't that visible from where when they're driving. They're virtually driving
Smoke doesn't help.
laid on their backs and with a head like that, and this is one of those tracks where they've coloured all the runoffs, and the white line isn't that thick.
You can't see it because of the new tyres. It's quite hard to see as
smoke.
Alonso trying again.
18-inch tyres, remember, yeah.
Zhou's taking a tight line through turn 4, and now
Here
around
we
turn
go.
5 and 6. Alonso trying to go around the outside line, not paying off this time, and finally the orange smog has vanished.
I do like the way Alonso looks like a leopard going for its prey, doesn't he?
And here comes Schumacher to the inside line, back up into 13th position. He's got ahead of Danny Ricciardo. So Schumacher moving up the order as well. And Gasly has had another lap time deleted at turn 4. So Gasly, I think, is going to receive the black and white flag next up.
I can't believe the number of overtakes we've had already. It's 21 laps in.
I'm sorry, though. When did Verstappen get into 3rd?
It's good.
He's retaken the pit stop then, so Verstappen's got back up there quite quickly.
Vettel pits.
Vettel into the pit lane. The timing screen is just...
We are considering plan E for Eco.
Plan E?
I'm sorry, you already blew through 4 plans.
Plenty of letters left in the alphabet.
Do you know, it was quite interesting when Verstappen was racing against Lewis, that he should have had much superior tyres to Lewis, but he didn't, did he?
No, he didn't. He right there. Plan E. E. I don't get it. Hang on, Ocon's just been passed. Alonso's let Ocon through.
I have to have skipped a letter.
Alonso has let Ocon through. Team orders. Well, that's a surprise as it comes through.
I didn't know you two were twins, 7 years apart.
6.
Thought that as well.
And 9 days.
The Owl says the Great Ferrari Master Plan as Plan E. Plan E would be we are going to...
We are excellent.
Barbados? Probably Barbados. I don't know. I'm trying to work out, how on earth did you fail 4 plans before getting to Plan E?
It's 22 laps in. Hold on.
What has happened for that a long time?
They'll be on Plan M by the end.
Here comes Esteban Ocon, though, to the inside. No, pulling to the outside of Zhou Guanyu. Zhou's going to send on the inside line, and Ocon can't try and get the cutback. Does get the
car
cutback.
behind you is Esteban. I want to swap the cars around.
It's quite unusual for Fernando Alonso to be receiving the teammate is faster than you call, but Ocon's on the inside line as Zhou in the braking zone and makes the move for 7th position. Zhou tries to get the cutback, doesn't work off, but it does actually. He's got the cutback on Ocon. Ocon gives him room and shuts the door. Fernando Alonso, I think for the first time in his career, has just received a team order, and he complied.
At least, I think he's the only one who does.
Fernando Esteban is faster than you.
A little okay
like,
hand
okay.
gesture there from Wang Zhangyu.
Verstappen.
Lap 10.8, same for science. Looks like they could be going on a 1-stop, so we'll be pushing all the way to the end of the race here, Max.
So Red Bull are saying it's a 1-stopper. Ferrari have said it's a 2-stopper. Alpha Tauri have said it's a 2-stopper, so they're going to try and take it longer into this race, as I've definitely chosen the wrong shirt to wear today.
I don't know who to believe.
Plan Z says wait for the safety car.
Yeah, that's the last plan as possible. Josh, what have we got for it? Oh, yeah, 2 seconds. Here comes Esteban Ocon. Ocon goes to the inside line, gets ahead of Yuki Tsunoda in the braking zone, and Ocon goes ahead. Alonso trying to pass Zhou, and they're bringing the Magnussen, Norris, and Schumacher into the battle as well. Reminder, these lot haven't pitted yet, I don't think. Ocon's pitted, but all the others haven't, as Tsunoda goes right back round the outside of Ocon. Ocon's got the inside line and shuts the door at turn 4. Beautiful move.
I'm so confused by right now, not by anything else, but by the fact that Albon is still stuck in 14th.
Zhou versus Alonso. Alonso trying to get the cut back, not working out there. Zhou's trying to find the positions, and I think I cut Josh off if he's still got news. Sorry if I cut you off there, Josh. Gonna cut you off again.
Thinking about it.
Gonna cut you off again. Sorry. Here comes Alonso round the outside at turn 9, not working off there. Go, Josh. You've got 30 seconds. No, never mind. He's gonna try it turn 10. Go on, Josh.
Plan E is probably another way of saying Plan A plus a number of laps.
Plan A plus 4 laps, maybe 5, 3 into 1. Does go
good.
as Kevin Magnussen makes a double overtake on Zhou Guanyu and Fernando Alonso. Alonso stays behind, and now it's a 6 car. 6 cars! Unbelievable! Into the braking zone at turn 3. Magnussen's ahead, and Norris trying to go around the outside of Alonso. Zhou versus Schumacher. Schumacher gets ahead. Lando's off the track. He's side by side with Magnussen. Alonso's dropped back, and now Norris pulls to the outside of the Danishman, and he takes the move. But Magnussen goes deep, brakes later. Norris is on the outside line, goes wide. Magnussen goes through. Alonso's down into 10th. Schumacher in 11th place. Zhou back to 12th. Lando's still finding the time to try and go through somewhere, but it hasn't worked out again. Brilliant couple of corners.
But I'm just so... How did Schumacher manage to get there? Where did he pass?
Radio science.
How many laps can you do at this pace? I don't know. Between 3 and 5, I think. Understood.
Megan.
Right, so there's been another track limits warning of Verstappen this time. Looking round at
Hamilton.
lap 24.
Now we've had a lap deleted.
A lot of these drivers...
So Alonso got Zhou still. Big loss for Zhou, and he's coming to the pit lane now anyway. A little hour says, did they just go 3 wide? Yuki slowed down a bit and joined them as well. They did go 3 wide. They went 4 wide back at the track.
In the pits.
Yuki was just looking for a fight.
Here comes Schumacher, trying to get into the top 10 to pass Fernando Alonso on the inside line into turn 4. Sasha's gone. Alonso gives him plenty of room. Schumacher goes through into 10th position. And Schumacher has stopped. Alonso hasn't.
I feel like when it comes to Mick, Alonso's just like, please just go in front of me. Get more points, please. Make your dad proud.
Now we've had a lap deleted.
There's the confirmation, Megan, that Verstappen's had a second track limits warning. Third track limits warning for Max Verstappen. One more, and that's a black and white flag.
Yeah, that is.
3, and it's a black and white flag. One more off track for Max Verstappen. It will be a 5-second time penalty.
Max, where are you going off?
It must be turn 1. And Red Bull are coming in. Is this to retire Sergio Perez? It is. Sergio Perez is out of the Grand Prix of Austria.
I mean, it's your own fault for, smoking from the front tyres.
Ted.
Checo Perez is out of the Austrian
I think Charles is coming in.
Leclerc box.
Yep, sorry, box for Leclerc. Where is he on the driver track? Oh, he's gone through. No, he hasn't. He's in the pit lane. Sainz takes the lead then of the Austrian Grand Prix. Race leader Charles Leclerc comes into the pit lane then, and he's going to be a new set of tyres. Verstappen's going to go out ahead. Keeps all 4 wheels on the track. Hard tyres on for Leclerc. Verstappen hasn't stopped yet. Oh, yes, he has. So Verstappen does get track advantage. When did Verstappen pit? I don't remember that.
I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe
Verstappen pitted about 5 laps ago.
Maybe for my unexpected win, I should have picked Stroll.
Stroll hasn't pitted yet, I don't think. And look at those dark clouds over the back of the mountains.
Josh will tell us exactly when he pitted.
Oh, that's a good point. Josh, when did he pit? You've got the timing tower. When did he stop?
He came out and had that fight with Lewis.
Correct. So that was...
Lando passes
5 laps ago.
How many laps? 5?
4.
4 to 5 laps ago. Science box.
Cheers, Josh. Keep an eye on that one then.
That means Verstappen will lead.
Take the lead, yeah. Verstappen's going to take the lead again, but Ferrari are on much fresher tyres and they are handling better.
Tsunoda pits.
Yep, he came in a while. Is that again? That's the second time Tsunoda's pitted, isn't it?
Yeah, I think after all of that contact, he must have accidentally nipped something.
And
I'm thinking the rear wing.
Here comes Carlos Sainz then, down pit lane again, as well as this USON's playing up again. We're still broadcasting.
Tsunoda's pitted, apparently.
Ted's in the pits. Ted.
Great work by the Ferrari guys on Charles Leclerc, and similarly, lovely stop, very nice indeed, very tidy for Carlos Sainz. What of course Ferrari won't be wanting is some kind of safety car later on that gives Max Verstappen a free pit stop. Well, we haven't had any so far, Crofty, but we're assured we're going to get one by, so say the engineers, later on. It's worth the thought from Ferrari. What do they do then?
Well, we're 30.
I'm expecting a safety car round about lap 45, 50.
Round about then. We get late race safety cars here, don't we, in Styria? It's kind of the
As the
going
cars
thing.
get lighter, it's one of those undulating tracks that all of a sudden your tyres are going off, the car's lighter, and you put too much speed on and you go off.
Yeah, and the safety car has made an appearance in 10 races at this track. The most safety car appearance here was 3.
How many laps I need to do now?
Sorry, Norris.
Did you change that from Russell to Albon?
You can't move under brake. Okay, we're going to look at
Albon.
it now.
Looking at it.
Well, I had to take couldn't hear the radio, sorry. Hopefully I'll play on the radio in a second because we were trying to hear it, but it wasn't because that was crucial to Lando Norris apparently being investigated by the stewards. So we'll keep an eye on that as they come through. And, the camera moving further back to watch a Tsunoda battle. Okay. The timing screen, it's just lighting up like a Christmas tree at the moment. Every single time. Oh, and Hamilton pits. Here he is. Hamilton into the pit lane then.
Leclerc purple-in all sectors.
Front right was slow for Lewis Hamilton. Ted's telling me in my earphone as well. So it was a slow for Lewis Hamilton. 4.1 seconds. He'll come out, I think, just in front of Lance Stroll. There he is. There's Stroll. There's Ocon. There's Hamilton. Hamilton's up to speed. Ocon's going to come out. Here comes Ocon and Stroll. He's going to come out just behind Ocon. Just alongside Esteban Ocon. Hamilton comes out with
the rear right. I don't think I have a puncture. No.
And Ocon gets out ahead.
Yeah, because that's where the experience of Lewis came. Like, you know, his tyres aren't as sticky at that point as they could be, so it's best to just not risk it.
Myself as much as possible.
Whoa. Oh. No Bono, and Lewis isn't happy. Bono's not here this weekend.
Oh, that explains why he's not very happy.
He is at home. He is at home in contact with Toto, though.
Yeah, but not with Lewis. His engineer this weekend is 2 other people. The people who covered for Bono when he had
it's his
COVID.
performance engineer who's doing the job.
Yeah. He's not going to like this.
He just misses Bono, I think.
If a driver strategy gets changed, you do sense it. 108.984 for Leclerc with the fast lap of the race. Oh, and into the pit lane, that's Stroll. And Hamilton nearly hit him.
I think that Albon's going to do something. Maybe crash out. I think maybe Albon will crash out. Because I did that pick thing.
Why you put in this situation? Give me some tire advantage to them, please. I was in the DRS train.
Lewis getting a good manoeuvre out of the last corner. Here comes Lewis. Lewis to the inside line into turn 3, and Hamilton makes the move, and Esteban Ocon for 4th position there. Good move.
And I've just noticed something. Guess who's joining the party again?
Who?
Russell.
Oh, well, Russell, who served his 5-second time penalty, is now catching back up to the fight. Here's the stop for Hamilton. Front left was slow. Look, it was too slow going on and coming off.
It really was. I wonder if that's like maybe a little bit of an issue with a bolt or something. It could be. That happens.
I would presume it could be, yeah, as
maybe
it comes
it's a little
through.
warped.
Come on, Megan, I wanted Albon to finish top 10.
Remember, it's a single bolt in the centre of the tyre that's actually attached to the tyre itself.
Yeah.
It's a clicking device.
Look at the driver tracker as well. Verstappen has got 2.2 seconds to Leclerc, and they're starting to come into the party again. So Verstappen is beginning to take off. Leclerc now needs to get his head down and start chipping away, and that's exactly what he's doing. On the last lap, he took a second out of Verstappen on the last lap. Bang on, and he keeps setting personal bests. Megan, Schumacher 7th.
I've got a feeling
New winner in Formula 2.
We've done it.
A new winner.
Druvula, 20-second penalty.
What? Druvula's got it. So who's won? Who's won the race?
Sargent.
Logan Sargent,
the
second.
American.
So Logan Sargent wins the F2 feature for the second time this year and the second feature race running. He won it at Silverstone.
I think that moves the British lad up as well from 7th to 5th.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Does that not put Roberto Merri onto the podium in 3rd position?
Probably.
After he finished 5th.
First race in 3.5 years.
And the oldest driver in Formula 2 history to stand on the podium at 31 years old. So Roberto Merri is on the podium.
We've avoided the lapping events, Lance, and he knows you're on a different strategy, so just get into a rhythm.
Sargent, Caldwell, and that of Merri would now be the podium in Formula 2. Back to the Formula 1. Guess what? Charles Leclerc's done. He's just taken a 2-second advantage, and he's brought it down to 0.8 of a second on that last lap alone.
And in F2, there was something like 12 track limits, 5-second penalties given out in the last 8 laps. So, you know, that's what we were talking about. The cars get lighter, the tyres start to go off, and I think you should look at the Red Bull. The only Red Bull left in this is Max.
And he's struggling.
And Max is struggling with his tyres. They could come back. They could get sticky again.
Leclerc's got the DRS. Leclerc's got the DRS. Down the start-finish straight as well to pull up towards turn number 1. Is he going to make the move here? No. Smart decision we're making. Gasly.
Our priority is to do a good plan B.
Gasly's been given a 5-second time penalty for track limits. Here we go again then. The 2 championship protagonists making a battle for themselves. Charles Leclerc going to look to the inside line to retake the lead, and Verstappen let him through. That's an interesting decision because now Verstappen's going to have DRS on the run down towards turn 4. He's thought about this. Open up the rear flap. Down we go to Socialist Gold. Is Verstappen going to take the lead of the race? No, he's too far back. Charles Leclerc comfortably takes the lead of the Austrian Grand Prix.
Oh, I see why he did that.
DRS.
No, I see why Max let him through. Because think about it. Max is... Oh, black and white flag for Norris, track limits. Max is on a 1-stop. Ferraris aren't.
Let's see.
They've still got another stop
penalty
left.
for him.
Yeah, one lap back, one good, one lap not. The car's so unpredictable. Pretty crazy.
Okay, understood.
Ooh, interesting. So the car's undrivable.
What's happening with Red Bull?
If you're just rejoining us on USRN, Charles Leclerc has taken the lead with a brilliant move on the inside line ahead of Max Verstappen, who led him through. And now Verstappen's reporting on the radio that he's got problems. And every couple of seconds, it just keeps coming on and off. Let us know on USRN if you can still hear us, by the way.
Well, his sister there,
So,
the little boy was going like that, the Verstappen guy. Fan, but the sister won. She's a Ferrari girl.
Let us know on USFN if you can hear us. So just put in the chat comment box and I'll see it. Let us know if you can hear us, and we keep dropping in and out. The full recording of this race will be available straight after if you want to re-listen to it. But we're on the YouTube channel live. Joshua Burch, motorsport journalist, on YouTube if you want to watch it with our commentary still there. Megan.
When did Schumacher go into 6th?
I didn't spot that. Schumacher's passed Magnussen, and Magnussen's got the DRS. I think that must have been a team order. Nothing on the radio, and that's a very bizarre situation then.
But Kevin is catching.
Kevin's catching, 7/10, but Mick Schumacher is in P6, a second points scoring position, and that would be, correct me if I'm wrong there, it would be with P6, 8 points. He'll get 8 points in this session. Megan.
Incident involving car for Lando Norris will be investigated. Track limits.
If I get
5
it.
second, yeah. That was very quick investigating there. They gave him a 5-second time penalty for track limits.
Ted.
That they want a solid plan B, and he's like, what does that mean? He says, look, we just want to get to the race the best we can. So yeah, a bit of a troubled race, but he's been doing well with that engine. Let's not forget that old engine, slightly asthmatic engine that he's got in the back of the McLaren Lando. So a couple of tenths down per lap than he would do with a newer engine. If you're Fernando Alonso and after the race, you're his strategy engineer. Oh, you might want to do this. Is this him getting past the...
Yeah, Fernando Alonso going through on the inside of Yuki Tsunoda. Tsunoda giving him just about enough room. And look at that. Alonso. No, Yuki. No, he says. Give a big wig of the finger there as Alonso was pushing the grass.
Of course, Yuki's used to a different finger.
Oh, Megan.
Well, he does like to wave it to people behind him all the time.
He does. Yes, he does, indeed.
He's taking anger management for that.
He is taking anger management classes. They're not working, though, because you heard in qualifying on Friday.
Yeah,
he's shouty.
Really
Here we go again then. Sainz is going to be in striking distance to Verstappen within 1 lap. Carlos Sainz. So Ferrari have not won here since 2003 when Michael Schumacher won here. And Leclerc is on course to break that.
The old adage of, mild-mannered people are different when they get behind a wheel are absolutely true, aren't they?
Yeah.
Because Yuki's the prime example. Lovely lad who all he likes to do is eat outside the car, inside the car. Madman.
Do you mind if I pop
Brilliant
off for
madman.
around 25 minutes? Not at all, Josh.
Migration as I can go. Copy that.
Not at all, Josh. I'll ask you a quick question though, Josh. If you're not back in case there's a big accident, do you reckon that this is going to be a 1-2 for Ferrari?
Probably.
Cool. Right, I'll see you in 25 minutes. No worries, mate. Presumably that's because there's loads of things out there as well.
I personally think that those tyres of Verstappen, which are only 12 laps, 13 laps old, aren't they?
They are, yeah.
They will come back.
Oh, Mark Safnau's on the pit wall. Let's have a little bit. Oh, hang on, Verstappen's pitting. Verstappen's pitting. So I was about to throw down, but Verstappen's coming into the pit lane.
He's
Why?
putting softs
Sainz,
on.
black and white flag.
Yeah, hards on.
Sainz has been given a black and white flag for track limits warning. Max Verstappen comes into the pit lane now. He had 2 sets of mediums, 2 sets of hards, and 3 old softs.
So hards new.
Brand new hards. And that's a second set of hards he's taken. And he had another set of brand new hards because of the sprint. Zhou has been given a black and white flag as well, so he's come through. Well, it's all kicking off now, isn't it, in this race?
Latifi's just been lapped.
Is it?
That was the sensible thing because he had no contest there, and Hamilton would have reeled him in, and possibly Ocon and Mick Schumacher as well. But it does risk the fact that if we do have a safety car in 10 laps' time,
that's specific.
If we do have it in about 10 laps' time, then he might regret that. Has he got a new set of hards to go on?
Who?
Max.
No, he's just taken it.
He's just taken it, hasn't he?
Yeah, so he's got
I thought
others.
he had.
Yeah.
He might regret that, but it was something that it was 50-50, wasn't it?
Megan.
There's a battle going on between Bottas and Vettel, and it's giving me flashbacks.
Bottas 13th, Vettel in 14th position again. Latifi pits again, says SHT. Yeah, so where is Latifi? Down in 19th position. Zhou passes Sonoda as well.
So Hamilton on lap 9 of his hard tyre stint. Last lap was a 10.0. Gap 5 seconds.
Closing up there then with Verstappen. We're past halfway then in the Austrian Grand Prix. Lap 38 of 71. 34 laps to go. And this is getting very tasty at the front here as Russell continues to have a go and have an attack. Trying to get up. Megan, Verstappen radio.
Not easily. So Max, at this stage, recommend you just match Hamilton's lap times. 10-0.
Why?
Because there are 35 laps to go. Free to push, Max. Free to push.
Okay, get out of the way of the fan. It gets too hot in here without
I don't need the fan. I'll turn it more towards you both.
No, it's fine. It's on both of us if in the right angle.
Why does Verstappen have to match Hamilton's lap times? You're ahead of him, Max. Don't match his lap times. You'd just be going down then.
That fan asked for my autograph and nearly bit me fingers off.
Look at those rain clouds, blowing in over. We're now 48 minutes into this race, and I've seen no sign of any rain.
Recommend you just match Hamilton's lap times. 10-0.
Why?
Because there are 35 laps to go. Free to push, Max. Free to push.
Free to bet, probably. But this is getting ridiculous.
That's the most weirdest explanation for something when people say why I've ever heard. Because there's 33 laps to go.
The interesting thing will be if Hamilton starts reeling Max in.
Yeah.
He's only 6.7 seconds behind with 35 laps to go, according to his guy. Well, I don't get 35. I get
33 to go, yeah.
Who do you think will crash first?
Oh, well, we haven't had a retirement. Well, have we? Well, Perez is out, but Perez did crash on the opening lap, so that counts.
Obviously, the radio was delayed.
Yeah, it must have been. But this is weird. Incident involving Zhou, noted track limits. And Zhou gets a 5-second time penalty for track limits. So let's hear it from Lance Stroll.
Who's in front of me right now?
Bottas. Bottas is the car ahead now. He's on 31 lap old hard. He's struggling. 31 lap old hard, struggling.
Megan.
I've just seen the helicopters go lower.
It's getting, what's the humidity? 32% humidity at the moment, so...
Come on, rise to 50s. We all know that's when the rain really likes to hit.
It was at 91 this morning during the Formula 3 race when it was raining. Yeah, 91% humidity. Oh, I feel better on this tyre. Oh, and off goes Sebastian Vettel! Down at Sochler's Gold! He's on a spin!
He looks like
I was just about to say
he's either hit something or he's spun violently.
That's why the helicopter went lower.
Green flag! Yeah, so the race back underway, but Vettel for the second time this weekend spinning because he spun at Burch curve when he got hit by Albon yesterday.
He's not having a good day.
No, he's not. So Vettel spins and rejoins at turn 4.
He's lost something.
Winglet. Sebastian Vettel's just had a spin at turn 4 at Sochler's Gold, and we're going to see a replay of it.
I think he lost a bit of the floor as well.
Gasly's. Oh, Pierre.
He did win.
He did hit something.
He has to give up that corner. I had the nose ahead. What is wrong with these people?
Yeah.
Well, that'll be a 5-second penalty then for Gasly if we're going by Russell's accident earlier on.
Well, I don't know. The stewards might suddenly decide to favour Gasly.
Yeah.
You know.
There's no consistency anymore, is there?
They seem to like to blame the victim.
I need to change my shirt after this race, honestly. It's
where could Gasly go there?
Gasly couldn't go anywhere. Vettel could have backed out of it, but he went round the left-hand side.
I think it's a bit like Max and Lewis at Silverstone 2 years ago.
Look at the clouds.
They're coming in, aren't they? Dillalao says identical crash, which means it'll be a 5-second time penalty for Gasly. Has to be. If it's that, it has to be for consistency.
It's very hot here, and it does dry up very fast.
Russell pits.
It was total rain.
He has to give up that corner. I had the nose ahead.
Go on.
Massive spray in F3, and then less than an hour later, completely dry track or drying track for F2.
Lando dives up the inside at turn 3 and gets ahead of Kevin Magnussen. Magnussen's on the fight back though, trying to go on the inside line, and Lando shuts the door. Magnussen gets the cutback. Lando's still got the DRS, but K-Mag is still with him. Now, Russell's just come into the pit lane, and he's taken an old set of hard tyres because he already had his new set. He had one new hard and one new old. And Vettel and Gasly is under investigation for causing a collision, and a 5-second time penalty for Pierre Gasly for causing a collision at turn 4. The steward's been quite quick here as well. So, Rip Vettel, if you replied to my comment earlier, didn't hear as I had to reboot data. Oh, jump on Discord for the Black Eagles landing. If you're on, I'll put you on the camera.
I got the lever
Josh. But, so there we see confirmation then of Gasly with a 5-second time penalty. And this is what he said over team radio.
Box. Reminder, 5-second time penalty.
Getting out of the way early then, as into the pit lane comes Magnussen and Albon as well. So this is Kevin Magnussen taking a pit stop. Bit of a slow stop there, 3.4, 3.2 second stop in total. I was going to say 3.2. I don't know why I changed over as it comes through. But Russell's right on the back of Zhou. Magnussen rejoins just ahead of Tsunoda. And here comes George Russell to the inside line. Hamilton has been given a black and white flag for track limits. One more and he'll get a 5-second time penalty as Russell goes up the order again. And there is the Ferrari of Carlos Sainz trying to lap half the field as Tsunoda gets out of the way.
This is where the rain will be in half an hour.
Just in the inside of the circuit, and we've got 29 laps to go.
Over the military base.
It would just...
Last lap.
Either last lap or it won't hit.
I hope it doesn't hit, because on the last lap, that'll defraud Ferrari's great race here.
It says here, 0% chance.
Good. Ted.
Having a little stretch, having a little think. I love the way they're fighting on the pit wall between these two, these strategy teams. Ferrari with a, what are they now? What's the gap to Leclerc to Verstappen? It's been hovering around the 20-second...
20.7.
So they're not safe now. If Leclerc was to pit, then he would be behind Verstappen, but with fresher tyres. So I just wonder what Ferrari are thinking now. Do they go for the one stop they've always planned, or do they think, do you know what? If Charles can pull out a little bit, and that's difficult because Verstappen is quicker at the moment by some half a second per lap, something like that. They could do. Oh, sorry, is that the replay of Seb?
Yes, that's the replay.
Okay, all right. So I think Gasly has been in to serve his penalty. If they pit Leclerc for a second time, then it will be done and dusted, even with a 2 stopping Ferrari.
Cheers, Ted. So, and there goes Lance Stroll, getting out of the way of Charles Leclerc there as well. It's 28 laps to go here in the Austrian Grand Prix. Again, providing us with more and more excitement as this race goes on.
That can't be Stroll.
Why not?
Because Stroll...
It's just been laps.
I thought he was higher up still. Why did you go down?
Your voice there was only Monica. Only dogs can hear that frequency. Anyway, coming through, Lando Norris dives into the pit lane, so Schumacher's in 2. Schumacher pits for his second stop. Now count to 5, everybody, for Lando Norris. And there we go, bit of a slow stop there as well. I think that was added 2.3. Yeah, added 2.3 seconds onto his 5-second stop. How good am I? 5 seconds plus another 2.3. I'm good. 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I know. I'm good.
You didn't hear our cheers because it was so high pitched.
Oh, Russell, side by side. Russell passes Schumacher for 9th and 10th.
Never got that.
Schumacher's down to 10th. Here comes Stroll on the defence of Russell, who pulls to the outside line. And Russell, left-hand side of the track into Sochner's Gold, can't get ahead. Stroll keeps the inside line. Russell gets the cutback. Schumacher's there to capitalise as well. Russell pushes hard again, tries on the outside of the Vodge curve. Didn't work out. But it stays back.
I'm wondering why, for some reason, Sainz got DRS.
Russell's doing the inside line of the Vodge curve. Oh, beautiful move. Beautiful move.
A lot of people are getting lapped now, which is...
I meant 3.3, little Al. I know it was 3.3. Anyway, he's pitting. Ocon pits, Ricciardo pits. As in there, as a lot of other people pitting.
I'm not liking how many people are lapped.
Schumacher to the inside line, getting ahead of Stroll. And Schumacher at turn 1 moves up into 8th position. But Stroll's going to get the cutback with the DRS. Don't. Stroll's a bit of a dangerous driver when he's attacking as well, but Schumacher's got DRS to defend, at least up this hill. But Stroll dives to the inside line, going to take Schumacher wide and does so. Stroll goes through.
Very equal cars at this stage of the race, those two, which is unusual because we didn't think that the Aston was that good.
And now Schumacher swings back to the outside line, coming through the Sochner's Gold turn 4. Can't get the cut back on the inside line. Stroll's going to defend him. Schumacher's found the pace, though. He's going to try and go around the outside. Didn't work out. Can't pass the Canadian there, Schumacher. I've said that before in my life.
So, Hamilton radio.
Yeah, we had track limits, turn 10. It's a black and white flag now.
That's BS, I didn't go wide.
Hey, firm, we'll have a look, Lewis.
Other people getting it. There's loads of people going off.
Hey, firm, we're seeing a couple of people already
Sebastian,
with penalties.
confirmed the same time would be up.
Marcus Dudley, the performance engineer, is Lewis Hamilton's race.
Wait, I don't know what to...
And this is... There's Hamilton with his track limits.
You have arms if I don't know which one it is.
He's 4... I don't think he was 4 wins off the track there. I think he was on it. What do you think?
Everyone else is getting it. So.
It's a bit flawed, this system, this weekend, the track limits. At this circuit, we always have problems in Austria, but... Yeah, it's getting really worse. So, everyone from Ocon down has been lapped.
Right?
Oh, time screen's frozen.
It's the sensors that show it.
And look at Lando Norris to the inside line to get to out the head of Yuki Tsunoda.
Do you think it's the cars bottoming out and hitting the sensors and they're thinking it's a wheel?
Yeah, I think that's what's happening. But the timing screen, the data stopped, but everyone from Alonso down have been lapped, Megan.
I just love how Alonso's in 5th, and before he was so
we had track limits, turn
Look
10.
at the gyro track, he's not that far back when it works.
That's BS, I didn't go wide.
Hey, firm, we'll have a look, Lewis.
Other people getting it. There's loads of people going off.
Hey, firm, we're seeing a couple of people already with penalties and lots of warnings.
So we're going to try and reset the driver tracker for you in case it is a problem there, as again...
Well, Alonso's 5th in that one.
Yeah, look at the 2 Haas cars, though, coming through again. So, who we're seeing now? Schumacher with the DRS pulls to the outside line to get ahead of Stroll, and he's done so.
Yes.
Schumacher gets ahead.
Magnussen!
Through nowhere! Magnussen sends it up the inside with a sweet move.
He saw an opportunity and he went for it.
He's not holding back anymore, is he? Been out of Formula 1 for just a year, now he's back. Done half a season, that was a great move.
I feel like him and Mick together as teammates are terrifying.
And Joe's
I feel
pitted.
that now Magnussen can hold Lance off a bit and allow Schumacher to get closer.
Was that Yuki by any chance?
No, it's Lance Stroll.
Yeah.
Lance, you're Canadian.
Telling his engineer to shut up.
That was quite loud.
Canadian, not clever.
I thought he was listening to me for a minute. I was getting upset.
I was wondering who he was talking to. Right, Alonso's been lapped, so only the top 4 remain lap-free. Charles Leclerc is taking everybody. We'd love to tell you, but our driver tracker is white at the moment, and it's frozen on our main monitor.
Something went off.
Yeah, the driver tracker's still not working at the moment, and Josh has vanished from the Discord, so that's fine. He's loading things up again and probably pop back in. But we're still here, trying to get our driver tracker working, because right now, as you can see, it's not. There's Josh, it plays back in. So Leclerc, again, never won a Formula 1 race from below a pole position. He started second here today as Alonso unlaps himself.
Woohoo!
Oh, there goes our driver tracker.
So does Ocon.
Oh, and Ocon does it too? Yeah. Ocon does it too.
Right, available for turn 10.
Alpine don't like being lapped.
So Leclerc's let the pair of them through.
Tell Esteban to pass him, to lose a little bit of time.
Alonso said you just want to pass him.
If I need to let both of them go, I will lose seconds again.
That's the least Canadian thing a Canadian has ever said, says
I
Little
thought
Owl.
that.
Yeah. Leclerc radio, box. That's why Leclerc let Ocon in through. Charles Leclerc comes into the pit lane in this race.
The amount of people being on lap now.
Sainz then will take the lead. Verstappen will go to second, so this two-stopper might work for Verstappen. As here he goes. Into the stop then for Leclerc. 4 wheels off, 4 wheels on, around about a 2.9 second stop. It is 2.4. I'm slipping. So that was a good stop there from Leclerc.
Stroll pits.
There's Verstappen. Verstappen gets out ahead, so Verstappen goes second. Sainz leads. Verstappen second. Leclerc third.
The driver tracker had actually decided that it was the end of the race.
No, you're just skipping to the next one, Josh. Look.
2.9 for Stroll. There we go. Just skipping. Psychic vision. Just a little bit of psychic vision there. It's just skipping forward a little bit as they come through. Is this driver tracker actually going to work, or has it just died on us completely?
They may be good at that sort of thing, guessing times, but they're no good at the lottery numbers, these two.
Say again, Megs.
Science box. That means Verstappen will go into first position.
It's all go now then here. It's all action up front as they come through. Our YouTube's vanished as well. So I know what's happened.
Everything's vanished.
Well, we're still on, but apologies you can't hear us correctly as our driver tracker tries to restart itself. But meantime, up front, into the pit lane now comes Carlos Sainz, Megan.
Right, so Sainz is being normal speed in the pit lane.
And Latifi's out. Latifi is out.
Oh, right.
Sainz in the pit for the second time.
2.6.
So Verstappen takes the lead, Leclerc will go to second, and now the hunt is on lap 51 of this race.
I can't turn the car in turn 9. It's massive damage.
That is Latifi, and he's retired.
I think we all understand, Nikki.
Sainz
We're
just
checking,
gets out.
understanding the extent of the damage. I will take a decision.
I know, but we're like running 2 seconds off the pace here.
So only the two oldest ones are actually...
corrected. You're lapping 1.5 slower than Alex at the moment, 1.5.
Yeah, keep going.
Only the two oldest ones have still only stopped once. Hamilton and Alonso have only stopped once. Everyone else has stopped twice now.
Debris on the track.
Where? Russell Radio?
Have to stop again.
How is so slow? Car didn't release the right. Don't know if we got any more damage or not.
So Russell's saying that he's got slow as well. You can see, look, even all the driver trackers have stopped, I believe, because, oh, hang on, it might be working now, I believe. Look, the bottom driver tracker's working. I've never been so thankful for that, but our main driver tracker's not working.
Car didn't release the right. Don't know if we got any more damage or not.
We're not going to get it.
Yeah, doesn't know if he has got any more damage or not. Well,
Hamilton, box.
So Lewis is going for another pit stop then at the moment. We'll keep an eye there and see what's happening.
I saw debris on the track around one of the corners. I can't remember which corner because it went by too quickly, though.
You know what's going to happen here? We're going to get
big.
Going to get a safety car for that debris just after Lewis's pit.
Ted!
It's the medium
letting
tyre,
Alonso.
so we can have fireworks from Lewis Hamilton. The only one, the Ferraris both putting the hard tyre on in their stops just a couple of laps ago. Lewis has gone with an attacking final stint on the medium yellow tyre. Woohoo! Let's see.
And it's involving Gasly. It's involving Gasly, noted, failing to serve the time penalty. So when Gasly came into the pits...
That's not really his fault.
He didn't serve the time penalty. That's cheeky. That's incredibly cheeky.
Yeah, I saw a bit of debris.
I hope it doesn't lead to the obvious, which is
and Verstappen is front
a
of
black
Charles,
flag.
2.2.
Yeah.
How many laps I did in the previous stint?
Well, I'd love to.
23, 21 to do now, 21 more.
Oh, we're having a nightmare. Let's see if that works. There we go. A little bit of a driver tracker nightmare. It looks like it's working.
You can't choose to have it added on to your thing. If you get a 5-second or 10-second penalty,
you have to serve it.
You have to serve it at
Can
your
we
next
cut
pit
to the
stop.
front?
Oh, look at this! Leclerc turning around the outside. Leclerc's going for the lead of the race. Round the outside. In towards turn 3. Verstappen has the inside line. That's Nook up.
Cuts in.
Verstappen's gone wide. Leclerc takes the lead of the Austrian Grand Prix. Leclerc takes the lead, but Verstappen's got the DRS on the cutback, trying to come through on the inside line, round the outside, and Leclerc takes the lead of the Austrian Grand Prix. He passes the Dutchman.
I'd love how we're just seeing two battles from two different ends of the grid.
Well, I was sorting out the driver tracker, completely missed that, but what a great move we've got going on now, haven't we? And now, Leclerc leads with intent. Where's the radio?
What a joke that traction is.
What a lot of jokes it says the traction was as well, so he's not happy. Find me somebody who is happy, Megan. I don't think we're going to find many people.
I've got an idea that his problem is the fact that the way he's driving reduces the downforce because he's taking the corners so wide.
I think after this I think that Max had a little lock up there going around one of the corners too, because I saw smoke rise up.
So he's locked up at turn 3.
Obviously, his sprung floor's not working properly.
Yes.
Black and white flag for Schumacher.
Oh,
Track
Mick.
limits.
Mick then with a time penalty on the verge.
I think everybody will get a black and white flag by the end of this race. They virtually did in the F2 race.
It's certainly going that way, isn't
Norris
it?
is doing
They would have done in the
10.0s.
F3 race, but it was
So these
too
are good
wet.
laps you're doing.
So we're back up and running then. Here we've got our driver tracker back, and we've got our timing screens back, which is all fantastic news after that. So we just had to have a quick change around as now we see George Russell pulls the inside to try and get ahead of Fernando Alonso, not working. So Leclerc leads, Verstappen second, and it's involving Gasly. We've reviewed no further action, failing to serve the time penalty, so he must have served it. Here comes Russell to the outside of Fernando Alonso into turn 3, and Russell goes to 6th. Is Alonso going to come back on the inside line? I can't see him making the move. No, Russell goes through.
Closes the door.
Good spot on the lead there, change, Max.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I haven't seen any sign of the, Mr. Hauger, is it?
Dennis Hauger.
No. Bauer, Mr. Bauer.
Oh, Joe Bauer, the technical delegate, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in the pits.
I haven't. I know he was retiring, but not this weekend.
No.
Maybe he's taking one race off, I'm not sure. But yeah, all looking good.
Because he would have been all over that.
He would have been massively all over it as well. As they come forward. Now, Sainz has DRS on Verstappen, I believe. No, 2 seconds between them still. For some reason, the stewards are a lot stricter Austrian than other circuits. Yeah, he's got it.
No, round that corner.
Yeah, turn 4.
Offline, though.
So currently looking at an opportunity end of the race.
Aha, fastest lap. But
So that Martin says it's going to be fastest lap. So top 10 are now on the lead lap. Ricardo is also in 11th. He's on the lead lap as we continue. So my brain's got a bit fuzzy after that, trying to adjust everything with the driver tracker. But I'm glad that Megan was on the call because I don't think I actually spoke for a lap.
I don't think you did. I think Dad was the one speaking.
There's helps with the 3-person commentary team and Josh in the pits. Ted, down to you.
Ocon has got Russell behind then Alonso, Mick Schumacher, Magnussen. So the earliest 2 stoppers, Magnussen and Mick Schumacher, hoping that something happens for them in front of them. Norris with the 5-second penalty behind will mean Danny Rick probably scores points, won't he, Crofty, if it stays the way it is at the moment. But I haven't seen Lando Norris had that information as yet. But yeah, it's...
Well,
sorry, go on.
What I was going to say, Danny Rick needs to up his pace a bit if that's going to happen.
Yeah, because where is he right now? He's lapped down. Never mind, he's been lapped.
Ladies and gentlemen,
He's only just been lapped, though.
15 laps to go. Ladies and gentlemen, anything can happen in the next half an hour because 15 laps to go is when most Grand Prix start to get interesting, really interesting.
So, like the interesting bit of why that timing screen behind on the actual track is glitching like mad.
Well, to be fair, our systems went down as well, so probably theirs are too. We log into the FOM systems to get it, so...
Most positions gained. Fernando Alonso, 12.
15 laps to go. How long has that been there? Sainz has DRS now 100% on Max Verstappen. Red Bull looked dominant all season long and all weekend long, and now he's losing it. And
home race.
The little owl says as well, is it mechanical or is it tyres? I'm not sure. It must be mechanical.
It has to be mechanical.
Carlos
the tyres
Sainz,
are fine.
yeah, the Sainz looks to the inside line of the right. Can't get ahead here. Outside turn 4. Go on, Carlos. Opens up the DRS. I just want the opportunity to say it, to be fair. You know what I'm after as well. No, he's backed off. He's backed off. Sainz's engine's blown. Sainz's engine has blown.
Coming out the back.
Out
And
goes.
he's out.
Carlos Sainz is out of the Austrian Grand Prix. The winner of the British Grand Prix is out. His engine has blown here in Austria.
Fire. Little flames.
No.
Oh, fire is next to the thing.
I tell you what, and this will be a safety car. I can't get it stopped. There's actually now a very big fire for Carlos Sainz.
I'd get out.
Yeah,
Isn't that near the engine?
He can't. It's completely blown up. That's turbo. Turbo set fire. And it's, get out of there, Carlos. He can't get out. Carlos can't get out.
We're now going to have a red flag because
red
that is going to roll.
Red flag. Jump, Carlos, jump. For God's sake, jump. The whole car's on fire. Red flag, I think it's being called because it's going to blow back on the track.
The wind's like spreading it, and worst thing is, the car was in reverse.
He's out. Carlos, you beauty.
Yeah, what a great idea.
He put the wheel towards the wall.
The wall. He left his wheel in and put it towards the wall.
Left hand down.
Which
brought
meant
the car
that
out.
the rear left wheel hit the wall and stopped the car from rolling back onto the track.
Virtual safety car.
He
Brilliant,
looks
Sainz.
a little shaken.
Carlos Sainz just saved the race from being red flagged.
Yeah, he did.
His
Definitely.
Ferrari has blown up.
And his own life.
And he couldn't,
He's okay.
he couldn't get out of the car because he stopped it uphill. So the flames were going up and up. There were huge flames. He came back, but he put left hand down and the rear right tyres hit the wall.
Did you see, though? Every single time he tried to get out, the car just kept moving backwards because he was on a downhill.
I was wondering why he was so slow down the straight. I thought, why is he backing off? And then all of a sudden there's flames go. So another...
It spread quickly, too.
Yeah, it did. Another Ferrari DNF. The virtual safety car is out, and if there's oil down, it'll be full. And this is perfect for Charles Leclerc to come in and put on a set of soft C5 tyres. Red Bull are going to put the mediums on. So it's now both of them, and they're both putting brand new mediums on. They've both got 2 sets of mediums left. So Leclerc will lead, Verstappen second. Hamilton's on the podium now, by the way, and Schumacher is 6th.
I want to see a replay of that fire, actually, for some reason. See where it started originally.
It started...
From the brakes, wasn't it?
No, it started actually in the engine area and came out the holes that they've cut into...
the air vents, yeah.
The air vents.
So
and he got... The fire hit his overalls as well, so
yeah, I saw
I'm
that.
really glad he's not burned.
He looks a little bit shocked and shaken up.
It was obvious that a fuel line has ruptured.
Yeah. Turbo blown, hit the fuel line.
Yeah.
It's just lost power. We need to hear it again.
And the amount, how quickly it spread.
White line on the entry. Strat 12 in pit lane as well. Strat 12.
So safety car, virtual safety car is out, not the full safety car. If there's oil down, I think it would be full safety car. How long's left? 13 laps and 49 minutes to go? If they need to red flag it, they can do.
It's not at all wet, though, is it? So, you know,
it
won't cause much of a problem.
Lewis Hamilton is onto the podium for the second race running. So, and it's Ferrari, Red Bull, Mercedes, same as 7 days ago at Silverstone, but it's Leclerc, Verstappen, then Hamilton stayed the same.
Hamilton, the only one that stayed his position.
Safety car is not... It's the virtual safety car that is out.
But now the other two have actually changed onto the same tyres, haven't they?
Virtual safety car is ending as we're going to head back to green flag, and this is it dying. Signs open at the DRS, and bang, bang, the engine blows. Oh, big time.
We've got scope to
I think it was turbo by the look of it.
Look.
How did these guys get so far ahead? Jeez.
That's where it happens.
Yeah. Green flag, race on, here again, as we see replays of the scary incident between Carlos Sainz and his turbo. And look at the flames. As the little owl said, the emergency brake failed, but huge fireball coming out. And I was scared that was going to happen because the fuel's there, isn't it? So the fuel's ignited.
It hits him. He's literally got flames on him.
Well done, that brave marshal as well. He put some chalk down And away for Carlos Sainz
He
as well.
actually put a wedge underneath the wheel as well, by the look of it.
So left hand down from Carlos, and that Marshall putting a wedge underneath it saved the race from having to go to red flag.
On the bright side, that has just caused Mick to be able to still have the points when he does his time penalty, if he has one.
Mick's got a 5-second time penalty, does he?
Well, I don't know. He got track limits, didn't he?
He hasn't got a 5-second penalty.
Yeah, he got a black and white flag, though.
Yeah, but not a penalty. That's a warning. He hasn't got a 5-second time penalty for sure.
Usually, though, within 10 seconds, you get the penalty, don't you?
Was it fighting Alonso qui takes it? Green, 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 green. Alonso qui takes it.
Esteban Ocon, by the way, in his 100th Grand Prix start, is running in P4. Just to let you know, as SHT's pointed that out on the YouTube chat, and it is correct. He is running P4, and now Leclerc's in trouble, I believe. Oh no, it is.
Copy, we'll come back to you.
Leclerc's in trouble.
To his teammate, I'm sure.
Leclerc's now, is that psychological?
Ocon third? I think it is psychological.
Because if you hear your teammate's just gone out because the engine's blown.
With flames.
And now suddenly all of a sudden something's going to start feeling a bit weird. You're going to start noticing weird different things.
Just like, I'm not so sure about this car anymore. I just saw another one just, have fire next to it. I don't want that as a design, please.
Ferrari have already lost out on 18 points with Sainz not finishing in second or third today. They cannot lose out on 25 to let Verstappen get further in the championship. This will bring the championship down to about 34 points.
They need to hurry up on fastest lap too.
There's the Ferrari, and I think that car's dead now.
It is.
Carlos Sainz, British Grand Prix winner, died Austria 2022. Completely burnt away. Everything was.
It's cosmetic, though, isn't it?
Yeah, engine's blown.
As long as the chassis is okay.
Well, as well, if they're having to change their floors after Belgium as well with the flexi floor, going into Belgium over the summer break.
Also,
God knows what's going to happen.
They didn't just lose out on 18.
And from data, 19. Everything is fine on the throttle pedal.
Yeah, it's okay now.
Copy.
Hunky dory, all fine.
They didn't just lose out on 18 points, though, because Sainz just, burnt out. They lost out on 19 because he had fastest lap, which has now gone to Red Bull.
When you're told they've done a burnout on the circuit, you expect something else than that.
You're just like, are we okay?
George Russell is up to fourth. He's passed Esteban Ocon. So Mercedes third and fourth. Nicely done.
How is there so much gap between Lewis and the front two?
Say again?
Yeah, it's okay now.
How is there so much gap between Lewis and the front two?
Virtual safety car nullifies the pit stop, but I must admit, why are there a 30-second gap between them? There shouldn't be that. Full safety car would have closed everything down again. Not sure. You say that, Leclerc's just done the fastest lap.
Oh, and it's just been taken from him by Verstappen.
107.583, changed over to 107.275.
Surely he did that fastest lap with the yellow flag, the safety car still out.
No. Leclerc was fine, so was Max. Last lap done. And this is Sergio Perez. Oh, no, it's Lando. Oh, sorry, I thought it was a Red Bull.
It didn't go off on the screen then.
Oh, hang on, our timing screen's gone off again on our driver tracker, so something's blown there.
Yo, Lando, go behind Kevin again and stay away from Schumacher.
Lando's passed Kevin Magnussen. Now he sets his sights on Mick Schumacher, as apparently Danny Ricciardo is the only car circulating out there at the moment. So I presume there's a timing glitch somewhere.
He's just overtaken himself.
Yeah, timing screen's glitched, so that's annoying. As they come through, nothing's working.
FOM have had a few problems with that over the weekend.
Come on, Kevin, you're better than this.
More problems again. Right, here we go again then.
Also, can I just say, do you know the little screen that they have?
Yeah.
It's the wrong way round. It's reversed.
Which screen? Oh,
on the driver tracker that's showing you what's been broadcast. It's reversed.
That's us. That's us broadcasting to Josh.
But it's in reverse.
Yeah. But it's not for him when he watches it.
Sides.
There's Sainz back in the paddock. When Josh watches that, it's fine.
Highs and lows of motoring.
Yeah. Back he goes.
Especially motor racing. Motor racing.
So apparently Danny Ricciardo is the only person out on the track right now because everything is blown again. So it looks like the counters are not working correctly. There's nothing I can do to fix it.
Is anyone else wondering how Mick got that big of a gap?
Mick is 2.9 seconds ahead. Leclerc radio.
What's happening? What's happening with the throttle?
Oh, not again!
Back to you.
Your imagination, Charles.
No.
That's what's happening.
No, look at his delta times. He's slower. Actually, no, his second sector is faster. What's he on about? It's 20.666 was Leclerc's third sector.
It's his imagination.
Oh.
Verstappen.
Leclerc reporting potentially some issues with throttle ahead.
If he's up still.
Is it psychological?
Yes, it's psychological playing since they just got Sainz out.
Yeah, it's a psychological war that is being anticipated now.
They want to them to back off a bit.
What a fantastic race this is turning out to be here today in Spielberg, Austria. And side by side, is that Albon? It's Albon passing Bottas for 10th.
That looked allowed.
And here comes Bottas back on the outside line for 10th position. Albon's into 10th. Bottas retakes it, but Albon will have the inside line. Tries to get the cap back. No, not today, Michaud. Not today.
Alex backed out of that.
Yeah. That's annoying, but well done, well done. Fair dues. Good moves.
Have you seen Max's times?
What is the times? Ted.
His engineers on the pit wall, like, what's going on?
Leclerc.
2 secs.
So sometimes the throttle gets stuck coming off. So try to remove it as much as you can. Remove the foot.
I'm sorry, the throttle sometimes gets
like
stuck.
fouling on his boot or something, rather than
something's got in the movement. I would imagine there to say that it's a potentiometer you're working and a spring. So something's got in there, a piece or some dirt or something that means it's not following his foot.
Yeah, that's not good, is it? If Leclerc's having throttle issues, it's not picking up on him as much. So
I don't think I'd feel comfortable if someone said to me, oh, yeah, sometimes the throttle gets stuck. I'm just like, okay, put me in the car knowing this?
At least it's here, not Monaco.
Remember, Max has got problems with his front-end grip. When he's
fair.
One lap is fine, and the other lap it's not sticking.
Difficult season for Carlos Sainz. Highs at Silverstone, lows in Austria. Here's Lance Stroll, presumably with another low, as he's down in 13th. So as he passed Gasly, good move from Lance Stroll round the outside of Pierre Gasly there at turn 4.
At least not swearing anymore.
Yeah, sweet move, Ted.
Ferrari pit wall. This is going to be the longest few laps of Mattia Binotto's life.
Leclerc radio.
You cannot imagine what I'm doing with the pedal. It's a mess.
Oh no!
Sometimes it's not coming back to 0%.
Wow, I can't feel. I can't feel it, mate.
To borrow a quote, sometimes very good, sometimes very...
You cannot imagine what I'm doing with the pedal.
That's not good news. That's really not good news.
Here's an idea.
Ferrari, go on.
Ferrari should never have brought that unit off Del Boy.
Ted.
Here's an idea. Kick it.
He has. Thank you, Ted.
Cheers, Ted. I kick it. It seems to work. Technology works when I kick it. I can't kick my laptop.
If something's stuck in it, try and kick it out.
Josh plays as we turn the commentary box. Since you've been gone, Josh, all hell has broken loose as we predicted. Welcome back.
What on earth has happened to Sainz?
Bang.
Caught fire.
Bang, bang, burn, baby, burn is his new song, not Smooth Operator. Burn, baby, burn.
He had a fire in the engine compartment, and he was on a hill.
He
and
rolled
he started
backwards.
to roll backwards, but he
Still in the
managed
car.
to turn left, turn his wheel left, and the rear wheel stuck against the fence.
Go left at the next junction.
Yeah, he couldn't get back down the track either. And look at this, Verstappen's closing in on Leclerc. So, 4 laps to go. Leclerc with a problem, trying to get his first victory since Australia in April. Australia to Austria. Seems like a nice way around.
Back then I was still 16.
Yeah, it's been a long time, as the beginning of April.
And
So-
it feels like I've been 17.
Oh, Leclerc slow. I think he's coasting a little bit. He's dropping some time. Norris gets out of the way. On the driver tracker, Leclerc and Verstappen are now following each other. Race on in Austria. Race on.
Schumacher's sick.
Schumacher is P6 at the moment. You're correct there. And this is this is Fernando Alonso passing Alexander Albon. And Alonso takes the inside line beautifully and gets ahead as well. So he goes into 11th. Oh, it's a replay. Didn't know that because the timing tower wasn't working. Alonso is under investigation for being released in an unsafe condition in the pit lane.
You should investigate the team then.
Yeah, it looks
Not
like
the car.
it's looking good. 3 to go here in Austria.
Why? What happened?
What happened where?
I don't know. That's the thing.
Unsafe condition.
Oh, the pit lane,
yeah.
That can only be a wheel not on properly.
Yes, nothing was out. nothing was done correctly, so something was missing there.
Not really Fernando's fault.
Yeah,
Leclerc.
Leclerc.
The downshifts are refused also.
Yes, it's because of the throttle pedal.
Yeah, so it's
Downshifts are refused. Let's listen.
set up for that.
Fifth, sixth,
for the shift
seventh,
to take place if you're hanging
downshift.
onto the throttle. What a great...
Yeah, you can hear it. It's choking a lot.
Ferrari, everybody. Handing out defective cars
I
since
remember
Silverstone.
Mick's dad, Michael, winning in third gear.
Yeah, down in... Oh, that was a great race. Can he do it? Leclerc's just 2 laps away. Verstappen's 3 seconds back.
Oh, still that bit.
That's uphill. That's uphill at turn 3.
Yeah, his car doesn't like uphill, apparently.
Well, he's got 3 seconds to Verstappen, and he's got 2 to go.
He can
and
last. He can last.
Verstappen has got DRS against Mick Schumacher, has just been lapped.
Lewis won on 3 wheels. Just keep going and don't be despondent. You could still win this race, even with all the problems.
It's... Oh, did you hear that? How much time he lost? He lost 4/10 of a second in that braking zone alone. The car just wouldn't turn in.
It's like I'm trying to cover my ears so I can't because there's a headset in the way.
See no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil.
It's like if I can't hear this problem, it's not happening.
Oh, Verstappen is closing.
If I was Red Bull, I would be turning around to Max and say, give it all you've got, Max.
Do it. It's 2.5 seconds. This is reminding me of when Mika Hakkinen was controlling a damaged McLaren and he retired on the last lap of the 2001 Spanish Grand Prix, and it allowed Michael Schumacher to go through and take victory. Yeah.
He cried in the bushes.
Yeah.
He cried in the bushes.
In Monza
he went in
and
the
in Spain.
bushes
Yeah.
and forgot there was a helicopter watching him.
Last lap, the call. The gap is 2.3 seconds. Leclerc nursing an issue. His teammate Carlos Sainz blew up, literally.
Go on, Charles.
About 14 laps ago. Leclerc is 4.3 kilometres away from finishing, but Verstappen is 2.1 seconds back. It's getting close.
I'm protecting all sides. Go on, Max.
If they take each other off, Lewis wins. Just saying, it happened here in 2016.
Oh, God.
Lewis hit Nico Rosberg and he went on to win.
We would get Ocon a
This
podium.
adds to the excitement, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
1 lap to go.
Final lap.
Final lap coming up. And
no, it is the final lap.
A major problem with the lead car.
This is looking
I
good.
love this.
Leclerc's looking okay to me. 1.9 seconds. Leclerc is 2 corners away from taking victory for the first time since Australia. I mean, his 3rd win of the year, and he will do it in the Red Bull Ring. He's into turn 9. Only turn 10 left for Charles Leclerc. He's had to manage the difficulties. It's once, it's twice, it's 3 times a winner in 2022. It's high-five victory of career as well.
Well done, Charles. Well done, Max.
For the first time, Charles Leclerc.
Very well done, Mercedes.
For the first time, Charles Leclerc wins the race from outside of pole position. He did it from 2nd. Red Bull are defeated in the home race. Charles Leclerc wins his first win since Australia. It's back-to-back for Ferrari. The championship's back on.
When was the last time Ferrari won here?
2003 with Michael Schumacher.
Yeah, and his son's now driving in the race.
Lewis Hamilton will come through. Mick Schumacher finishes 6th and gets his 2nd point-scoring finish in a row. It was 8th a week ago. It's 6th today. And Lewis Hamilton takes 3rd position and gets podium number 185. George Russell finishes in 4th position. Esteban Ocon will round out in 5th position. The final finisher on his 100th Grand Prix start. There's George Russell 4th, and Esteban Ocon comes across the line now and takes it for his 100th Grand Prix. He finishes 5th, but Charles Leclerc wins the Austrian Grand Prix.
MP1!
Yes, sir! Yes! Oh, yes, come on! Oh my God! I was scared. I was really scared. Yes!
Amazing job.
Smoke goes off. I've just realised something. 6 teams in total have got points today, and 2 of the teams have had one of their drivers out.
Alonso finished 10th, by the way. Ricciardo got to 9th. Shane Butt Williams Albon was dropped back.
Both Haas's points.
Vettel track limits.
Vettel. Thanks.
It's good order points, mate.
Yeah, tricky race that, but still second is better than third, which it was looking like. So.
Yeah, good effort, mate. Just need to understand, obviously, the deck in the middle of the race there, but your pace at the end was very strong.
Go on, Josh. What was that? 5-second time penalty for who?
Vettel.
Oh.
Well, he's last. What's that going to do?
Well, he's now been dropped to last.
Oh, he was already last.
Well, he had a spin, didn't he? As well throughout that race.
Can't see that bull anymore.
Do you need to leave?
More than I should have. I needed to leave 15 to 20 minutes ago.
I thought so.
Well, you missed him. You would have missed all the action, so you couldn't.
Thanks very much. Right.
Mick.
What?
Schumacher.
What, Josh?
Is driver of the day.
Mick Schumacher is driver of the day. Brilliant news.
As it should be.
Yeah, Ian Burch got his headset off, so he couldn't hear us. I just told him. But Russell Firth, right now, Daz is getting out the commentary box. Charles Leclerc is the race winner here today. Verstappen second. 5 drivers finished on the lead lap here. Everybody else was out of the positions. How about that? How about that, Megs? Not a bad race, eh?
It really wasn't a bad race. You can see the excitement in Charles's body language because you can't see his face right now because he's got his helmet on still. And it's...
Yeah, they come through. Back to hear from the top 3 interviews as well as they come back in. Let's just work back up to the box now that Ian Burch has left. How long have we been on air? I can't even work out. Thanks to over 1,000, maybe even 2,000 people have watched us here today in Austria. I can't tell.
I feel like we've been on the air for an hour and a half.
Could be. I can't tell because I can't get to the YouTube. I had to switch off the YouTube data channel because it was interfering with... Oh, thank you. It was interfering with Mixler, so I had to change it off. But Charles Leclerc going through. Vincent says, yes, come on, Mick. P6 and Mag P6 also. Happy for Charles to hold on. Hold on as well. Great race today as well. Final gap was 1.5 seconds. We will be live straight after this race as well. 4 o'clock for the Grand Prix review. But right now we're going to head down to what looks like David Coulthard to listen to the drivers out there today.
Coulthard, who, like Martin, has been driving some very nice old cars around this circuit this weekend, now has the interview mic in his hand.
Today that you would have hoped for, but a nice little battle there with Charles towards the end. Talk us through the race, put us in the cockpit. You never seemed as comfortable with the balance with heavy fuel.
Yeah, it was a tricky day. Immediately seemed like we were struggling quite a bit with the tires, and basically that continued on every single compound. So yeah, too much degradation to really attack Charles, especially. But nevertheless, still, second place is a good result for us on a difficult day.
Now you had an amazing home support here. The orange, the sea of smoke on the first lap was pretty impressive. Not too distracting.
No, it was nice. I mean, it's a great color anyway, so I don't mind to drive through it. But, it's great to see so many fans coming here to Austria. Of course, unfortunately, I couldn't give them a win today, but I think second is still a decent result.
Very respectful racing between you and Charles. Just standing here to your left. The battle will continue all season.
Yeah, of course, like it has been already the whole year, so I think that's great to see.
Okay, Max, congratulations on the podium result. So, our race winner, welcome back. Charles Leclerc. You had to fight for that one. That was a real racing victory and some fantastic wheel-to-wheel action with Max Verstappen.
Yeah, it was a really good race. I mean, the pace was there. At the beginning, we had some good fight with Max, and the end was incredibly difficult. I had this problem with the throttle, and it will get stuck at 20 or 30% throttle in the low speed, so it was very tricky, but we managed to make it stick until the end, and I'm so happy.
No, it was a fantastic race, fantastic victory. Congratulations for that. We saw your teammate had some reliability issues. Was that in your mind when you started to experience those throttle issues towards the end?
Yeah, weirdly it was more or less at the same time, so of course I had it in my mind. I knew it was not a problem with the engine because it was really the pedal that was feeling weird. First at pickup and then at the end it would not come back to zero. But yeah, luckily it went until the end of the race.
You needed this one. You feel this will now put you back on track for this championship battle?
I definitely needed that one. I mean, the last 5 races have been incredibly difficult for myself, but also for the team, obviously. And to finally show that we've got the pace in the car and that we can do it is incredible. So, yeah, we need to push until the end.
Yeah, well, it was a great Grand Prix. Congratulations on the victory. And moving on to Mr. Consistent for another podium result. Lewis, maybe not as close as you were a week ago at Silverstone, but that was still an important result today.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. And what a incredible crowd we've had here this weekend. Definitely wasn't expecting that, but of course yesterday was a bit of a difficult day. It's been a bit of a rough weekend, but I'm really grateful. As a team, we got a 3rd and 4th. That's great points, and we move forward from here.
Well, you say a rough weekend. You saw you're in amongst the action at the start there, but you were able to pick your way through, find your strategy. So does this give some light at the end of the tunnel? You got a couple of weeks off now before the French Grand Prix.
Well, I mean, firstly, I do really want to say a big thank you to the guys, the men and women in the garage who worked so hard to rebuild the car. I had a brand new car on Saturday morning. Unfortunately, it's something I don't do too often, but I'm so thankful to them for working so hard. And we've made some improvements this weekend, so we just have to keep chipping away at it.
Okay, Lewis, congratulations on another podium.
Thank you. Cheers.
Not a bad result then out here today. Megan and Josh, who are still with me in the commentary box, I've taken a seat. But we are about to head. There's Joe Bauer. We wondered where he was throughout the race. He's there as well. We're about to hear from the top 3.
Also, no Simon Layson
No.
though.
Yeah, Pinks is hosting. Simon's doing golf.
Is it still unsafe for the... No, it's not unsafe, but there's a lot of points coming out. So it's hot for me with all people.
Nasty bite on Max Verstappen's neck there.
Joe Bauer, by the way, is the man from the FIA that monitors all the technical scrutineering, walks up and down the paddock all weekend, and then weighs the drivers at the end of the race too.
He's a very busy man.
We'll
and
get
leaving.
an email later on.
Yeah, he's leaving at the end of this one.
checked scores of parameters from all of the cars. They're very, very impressive. How they police the technical side.
Here's Lewis
the
getting weighed.
fundamentals, and then of course you get the squabbles, don't you, about what's flexing and what's not flexing, finger pointing between teams.
Max is sat in the wrong seat.
Yeah, he sat in Charles'
Tiny
seat.
little cool down room, isn't
No,
it?
he sat in Hamilton's.
No, it's not.
It's podium. It's podium thing.
From Carlos. You see the fire?
Because Lewis didn't go from the middle.
You guys were insanely fast today. Like for 2 laps and another time I just have more deck somehow.
I just wanted to meet the Dutch in the first 3 laps.
Neither are going to cut away. The Dutch army start invading the track then as well.
I just see orange.
Yeah, it will be a podium for Verstappen, but it's victory number 5 for Charles Leclerc. 3rd win of the season, by the way. It's podium number 18 for him as well. For Lewis Hamilton, podium number 184 for Max Verstappen. Podium number 68 of his career as well. Not bad. Next time out, he'll make the joke. As they come onto the podium then, Lewis Hamilton finishing in 3rd position as they come through as well. The Monegasque national anthem, which is region free, which means that we can be quiet over that and that of the Italian national anthem, by the way. Yeah, new rule this time out. And we'll hear from them as well. So it's a perfect podium for us as Max Verstappen takes 2nd. But Charles Leclerc, for the first time since Australia, is victorious. We will hear the Monegasque national anthem.
He's going to jump off that.
Leclerc's 5th victory, and now the Italian national anthem for Ferrari. You just love it when Ferrari win, don't you? It's such an atmosphere when they take victory.
I love doing that.
Yeah. It's what Schumi used to do. Every time he used to win the podium, just going like that all the time. It was fantastic. And now, gold trophy. Gerhard Kierner as well, the First Minister of National Security, will present the trophy to Charles Leclerc. Ben Sulayem, the Mohammed Ben Sulayem, the FIA president, also there. But Charles Leclerc is victorious for the 5th time in Formula One and for the 3rd time this season, and he had to work for it, Megan. He really did today.
He really did.
Herman Michaels, the Rolex ambassador, and the Alpine skier, gold medalist as well, by the way, presents the trophy to Ferrari, their 241st career victory as a team as well. 2nd place to Max Verstappen. Christopher Drexler, the governor of Styria, presents the trophy to him as well. So he continues his run and finish on the podium every single time since he joined Red Bull. What do you mean? He's still second?
No, once he didn't, I don't think.
Oh, I can't remember when.
Last time out.
Oh, wait, Austria 2020, the season opener. But he finished it back in Styria the week later. That's why I got confused. Dr. Harold Muntz as well presents the trophy to Lewis Hamilton in 3rd. And now, guess what's next up? It's champagne time! Charles Leclerc takes a very popular victory in the Styrian Mountains.
Did he jump down?
He did jump down.
I knew it!
It's 2nd place for Max Verstappen. Lewis Hamilton finishes in 3rd. Let's just quickly confirm to you how they finished here in the Austrian Grand Prix. It's Charles Leclerc victorious, Max Verstappen 2nd, Lewis Hamilton 3rd, George Russell 4th, Esteban Ocon in 5th, completing out the drivers on the lead lap. Mick Schumacher gets his 2nd ever point scoring position in Formula One. He finishes in 6th position. Lando Norris is 7th, Kevin Magnussen 8th, Danny Ricciardo 9th, and Fernando Alonso rounds out the points in 10th. Valtteri Bottas is 11th, Alexander Albon 12th. It's 13th for Lance Stroll, 14th Zhou Guanyu, 15th Pierre Gasly, 16th Yuki Tsunoda, 17th for Sebastian Vettel. 3 retirements in the form of Carlos Sainz on a big fire, he's okay. Nick Latifi boxed with engine problems, and Sergio Perez with damage after he hit George Russell on the opening lap. Next time out though, guys, the French Grand Prix at Le Castellet. Last year, it was actually an exciting race. To you, Josh, first, what did you make of today, and what do you make of going to France in 14 days' time?
I think you already know what I'm thinking of going to France.
Why
I'm
bother?
pumped.
Oh, good.
Because, hang on a minute.
Megan, what do you think of today as well? Just coming to you first.
I think it was intriguing.
Good race compared to Silverstone, or Silverstone still a level ahead?
A little bit ahead.
Rate this race out of 10. If Silverstone was the 10, what was Austria?
8.
I'd say 8. Josh, what about you? Rate the race after Austria.
8.
8. I'd agree. Right, that's it then for this race. We'll be back in 15 minutes' time, and that will be for the Grand Prix review. But for you all at home, thank you very much for joining us. It's goodbye for now.